No, not him. I'm talking about my bank.
Want more from your checking account than a one-time bonus? Good news! You've got better options. Open a Simply Free checking account at General Electric Credit Union and earn up to $350 every year with Roundup. You'll earn rewards on everyday debit card purchases and automatically add to your savings. Now that's better than a one-time bonus. Don't be thrown off by our name. Anyone in the tri-state can bank here. General Electric Credit Union. Bank with us.
What's up, everybody? Justin Camuto here with Vertical Rays, covering the Cincinnati, Dayton, and Northern Kentucky area. Wanted to check in as we are quickly heading into the school year. Can't believe it's here already. And just kind of quickly recap what we do to help groups with fundraising. We're quick, easy, 100% hands-on, and I'm there with you every step of the way to run it. All of our fundraisers are online fundraisers, whether it is our donation campaign, which is one of our most successful campaigns at raising a ton of money for teams, our digital discount card, which is a new take on the old school plastic card. We've got over 1 million plus discounts, local and nationally, travels with you because it's on a GPS and you can sell it to anybody. It's no longer just strictly your district that you can sell those to. And our popcorn fundraiser, which is great to do during the holidays as an extra fundraiser to make some extra money during that time. We are, as an online platform, 100% private, safe, and protected. We do not share anybody's information. How could you expect us to have your trust if we did that? We're not selling anybody's stuff. We're not sharing it. We're not redistributing it. It's strictly just for this fundraiser and fundraiser alone. We're quick and easy to set up. All you have to do is reach out to me. We'll set up our couple dates. I'll walk you through everything. It's meant to be stress-free for the coach and for the players. So once we kick off the fundraiser, you're not having to constantly manage money or think about it throughout the entire campaign. Easy, and we'll get it done, and then we turn the check around to you real quick so you actually get your money and are actually able to use it. If you're interested in talking or just want to see if we might be a good fit, please.
No, not him. I'm talking about my bank.
Want more from your checking account than a one-time bonus? Good news! You've got better options. Open a Simply Free checking account at General Electric Credit Union and earn up to $350 every year with Roundup. You'll earn rewards on everyday debit card purchases and automatically add to your savings. Now that's better than a one-time bonus. Don't be thrown off by our name. Anyone in the tri-state can bank here. General Electric Credit Union. Bank with us.
We are in southeastern Ohio, Jackson, Ohio to be specific, home of the famous Jackson Apple Festival of mid-September. The Script Ohio has just been done for the Jackson Band as they played the national anthem. And by the way, Script Ohio people, the Ohio State Marching Band will be here at that Apple Festival in about 3 weeks. But we are here tonight for the return of the MAC. Well, the return of the Mahan, at least.
Yes.
Coach Nate Mahan returns to the sidelines of Little Miami. Little Miami joins our coverage area, and they drag us for a 2.5-hour road trip out to Jackson, Ohio for the Panthers taking on the Ironmen. Everybody, Joel Sackenheim, Chris Vogt, and Vince Keep. And I got to move my hand the opposite way because I guess we're doing a mirror image thing here on this broadcast.
Great to be here.
Chris, let's talk about Coach Mahan returning to Little Miami.
I think I was talking to Little Miami's athletic director, Matt Lewis, and he was relieved to get Mahan back on board here. Some trying times for the football program. 1-9 ensued a 1-9 season last year. Mahan understands what Little Miami is all about. He's been through the system already. It's his second stint. Mahan is refreshed and ready to roll for his second stint. Went through some hardships. His father passed away a couple years ago, and you can never get past that, Joel. It's something that everybody deals with death a little bit differently. And Mahan's refreshed. His dad would love to be here to watch him play in his second stint, but Mahan's going to do something for his father right now, and let's get back to teaching, coaching kids the thing he loves to do, and that's provide knowledge and expertise to young men on the football program.
Well, Dale Mahan, Nate's dad, was indeed dear friends with my Uncle Greg and my Uncle Steve, two of my dad's older brothers. And so I happened to actually be at a Little Miami game against Mount Healthy years ago covering them, and I got to sit next to Coach Mahan's father for that game. He obviously was very, very proud of his son.
100%.
And Nate kind of built this program up from scratch the first time around.
Right.
And then upon his departure, Little Miami has sank back into kind of a quagmire. This will be the third different head coach they've had in 3 years.
Yeah, he even said that before the broadcast, is that it's not fair to the kids.
No, it isn't.
It's not fair to the kids,
Not at all.
and I think that's what Little Miami needs, is some stability and somebody who will come in and be with them for a while. His
Right.
kids go to the school district.
Yeah,
And that's a telltale sign right there.
I have ran into Coach Mahan in the gym coaching for Cincinnati Christian myself. He was coaching the second grade team last year. There he was, Coach Mahan on the sideline.
Oh, look at him.
I think it was
That's
actually
awesome.
right after his dad had passed, so I got
Yeah.
to give him a little hug and wish him my condolences from the Sacchinine family or whatever. It's neat seeing him back there wearing yellow, wearing green, and of course he's ageless.
Yeah.
You know Coach
Yes.
Mahan.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hundred
and we'll bring you in
Yes.
here,
He
Vince.
doesn't look any younger,
No,
does he?
I
Or
met
any
Head
older, I
First
should
in
say.
2019. I've been working for the football team at Hamilton High School. I met him in 2019. He took over for Chad Murphy. That's a good name. He's at Winton Woods now. He took over for them, and again, I saw him today. I had a good conversation with him today. He looked the same as he did 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago. It's no different.
Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nick.
No, I was going to say, Little Miami making that 2.5-hour trip to figure out what they have this year against a strong Jackson program. I think we can transition right there.
And 2-hour drive for Little Miami, 2.5 for us. That is the reason this game is Saturday. I asked Coach Hall of Jackson before the game.
That makes sense.
And
Yes.
Mahan actually asked him, hey, with the travel, do you mind if we play this on a Saturday? And Coach Hall was like, cool, we'll play it on a Saturday.
Well,
Not
and
a problem.
I think talking to everybody here, everybody has a chance to go watch another football game.
Right.
Not only that, but you also get the chance to scout other programs
100%.
too.
Do a little scouting, and Lord knows Jackson needs to scout teams like Wheelersburg and Ironton and all these Galley Academy they're playing next week. Jackson's got a bit of a tough schedule as well. Folks back home, they have shifted Division III Region 12. Baden is back down. Ross stays here. Talawanda stays here. But rather than extending northward up into the Western Buckeye League where your Wapakonettas and your St. Mary's Memorial exist, those guys have been partitioned off and placed with Toledo Central Catholic in Region 10. And Region 12 has done a southeastern pull into this area. So you have teams like Chillicothe and Jackson out of the Frontier Athletic Conference now that you have to worry about in terms of seeding. Jackson, this is a good football team.
Yeah.
I was here 2 years ago.
You saw them.
I got to see them play Ross 2 years ago. Their quarterback, you're going to see him tonight, folks. He's number 5, Bodie Wolford. I saw him as a sophomore. I'm sure he's improved in the last 2 years. Dude's got a bit of a cannon of an arm. Coach Hall, Andy Hall, has been here 17 years. His overall record as head coach, 136 wins and 43 losses. He is the all-time winningest coach in the history of Jackson by a factor of 2. Second on the list only has 64 wins. Jackson expects to be good, but when they are not, they have gone through coaches in the past. The fact that Coach Hall has had the staying power to be here for 17 years is a ringing endorsement of his best he has ever had.
Yes.
In terms of one man that is 250 pounds and the other 4
are 300 plus,
are
which
all
is
over 3 bills.
Yes.
As far as strategically, Little Miami, what you can expect to see from Jackson tonight, because Bodie Wolford has 4 excellent wide receivers to throw to, they will like to chuck the ball all over the field with the passing game, and they can razzle-dazzle you. But because of how big that offensive line is, Expect them first to pound and ground the ground game out to establish dominance in the trenches and then throw off of that. It can be a nightmarish scenario. Ross saw that a couple years ago, though. Ross was able to get the better of them last year over at Robinson Field.
Right. Yeah. And on the Little Miami side of things, Camden Fox is back at quarterback. I think that's somebody that we're going to see a senior leader bring Little Miami back into the scheme of things. It's nice to have a senior leader that Mahan can trust. It's still with the system after a coaching change. I mean, honestly, that's kind of all I know about Little Miami right now. We have no clue what they're going to do in terms of what their schemes are going to be with Mahan.
Right. We're going to find out a lot. But one thing I can say for Little Miami, I don't know if it'll be tonight, but they got the right man for the job. He's already proven that he can handle this job at this school before. And then the question is going to herein lie, okay, now can he go ahead and repeat the magic?
Right.
Chris is trying to get the camera going the other way around.
Yes.
As he's searching.
You guys are going to look at us for the rest of the game.
Oh, that should be bad. We have the face for radio here, right?
Yes.
My goodness.
Right.
Well, we got Region 2 or Region 8 there on the screen.
Back at us.
We're back.
Can you go next door? Technical difficulties.
All right, we'll be right back, guys. This one.
We are back as Little Miami is going to go ahead and tee this ball up. Jackson's going to receive the opening kickoff. 3 men deep. Looks like the farthest one back is Ryan Simatz. Looks like they got in a little technical difficulty over there at Little Miami sideline as well.
Yes. Just making sure you got that formation right, you know what you're doing, and making sure you don't screw anything up. Again, special teams is an important part of this, is an important fundamental of this game, and you got to make sure you know on all 3 sides of the ball, defense, offense, and special teams, you know what you were trying to execute and what you were trying to get done.
Cade Wynick to kick it off for the Panthers, and it's a little squib to the up man. Going to go all the way through, continue to bounce. It's been touched and will be down at the 5-yard line. Well, that was an adventure.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, if you're Nate Mahan, the Nate Mahan train, you're excited about that.
Oh, heck yes, you are. Getting a good start, trick, showing you are showing one of your many tricks of the book.
Field position, and cameraman, see if you can get the beef of this offensive line for Jackson. We got some big guys there. Jacob Allen, 300 pounds, number 76.
It just kicked me off.
Oh.
We're still on. It looks like live.
All right, we are
live. Here
live.
we go. Yep. First down, I formation. Handoff. Goes up the middle with the poor field position. And that's going to carve out a little bit of room for the Ironmen. It's going to set up a 2nd down and 6. Obviously, Bodie Wolford would love to get him out of this deep area, be able to have a little more room to spread this thing out. Now is a more traditional shotgun formation for Jackson. Couple wide receivers to the top of your screen. This is going to be another direct handoff up the middle.
They're going to get some yards
and
there.
that's going to be enough for a first down. The running back on the play is Gavin Seitz, 5'10", 170-pound junior. 1st and 10 for the Ironmen. And Chris, in honor of your dad and in honor of the late, great Ozzy Osbourne, I am Ironman. 1st and 10, Jackson. Trips receivers to the bottom of your screen. There's the fake one way. He's going to look to the top, throw the little quick hitch. It is complete to Simets. And Ryan Simets is going to have enough for a first down. Pretty easy pitch and catch there on the right sideline. Jackson now out to the 24-yard line. A couple first downs. 29-yard line, I should say. A couple of first downs on this drive already against this Little Miami defense.
And getting them able to move the ball from back near towards your own goal line down to the 24, this is definitely a good sign for this Jackson offense.
All right, 1st and 10 for Jackson. I formation now again. This is a straight handoff up the middle. Very patient run. Once again, that should be Seitz, the ball carrier. Let's see. It's like actually that would be Simets that's back there handling duties on the offense of running the football. 2nd down now and 3 for the Ironmen. Already 2 minutes in. This poor Chris tries to figure out our technical difficulties and get us our score bug back and everything else.
Yes.
Right?
We're going to hand
off. This is Simets. 1st down. The dangerous thing, Vince, about Jackson's offense is they can attack from multiple formations.
And it's always dangerous when you have a team like that, being able to attack from the run, attack from a certain formation, and just always having, again, like the Coach Hall mentioned, he had 4 wide receivers, so you're able to run the ball and throw the ball. Again, that's going to be dangerous for this Little Miami defense.
1st and 10 now for the Ironmen. And now we're back in the shotgun again is Bodie Wolford, the quarterback. He's only thrown it once tonight so far. And we have an early timeout taken by Coach Andy Hall.
Probably saw something there he didn't like, so talk to the team, figure out what's going on, and try to see if you can get those issues fixed up. Again, it is week 1, so you're going to probably see a lot of these prevalent issues happening within this week.
And we'll be right back from Jackson.
No, not him. I'm talking about my bank.
Want more from your checking account than a one-time bonus? Good news! You've got better options. Open a Simply Free checking account at General Electric Credit Union and earn up to $350 every year with Roundup. You'll earn rewards on everyday debit card purchases and automatically add to your savings. Now that's better than a one-time bonus. Don't be thrown off by our name. Anyone in the tri-state can bank here. General Electric Credit Union. Bank with us.
Back here in Jackson, Ironmen have 4 straight Frontier Athletic Conference titles and are 37-3 all-time in conference play. That's the type of opponent that Coach Mahan has drawn on his schedule for week 1 in his return to the land of the Panthers. A handoff to Simets, and Simets is going to slither his way toward the right side of the line. But Little Miami that time, a little more defensive discipline there. Only a yard or so for the Ironman senior. They've got him listed as a wide receiver and a DB, but he spent just as much time lining up in the backfield as he has out on the perimeter. 2nd and 9 for Jackson, and now they spread the formation. Look at the – you don't often, Vince, see that many formations from an offensive team.
No, you do not, no.
Double tight end, 3 wide receivers. Man gets through, but now there's going to be a rushing opportunity for Wolford, and Bodie can run a little bit.
And he'll get to about the 49. It might be enough for that first down.
Let's see where the spot is. Yep, they gave it to him, Vince. Good eyes. I didn't realize Bodie Wolford was going to be able to get that much yardage on that carry, but he makes it out past midfield. Right. The Ironmen got this ball to start the game at their own 5-yard line, folks.
Yes.
1st and 10, Jackson now at the opposing 48-yard line. Good first drive for the Ironmen. Looks like we got a tight end, a couple wide, 3 wide receivers, and a running back. Handoff up the middle. That's Seitz. And Seitz is going to boulder his way through. Gavin Seitz close to the line to gain, about 8.5, maybe 9 yards. Yeah, we'll go ahead and give it 8 on the spot.
Yep.
2nd down and 2 for the Ironmen. I'd ask Chris Vogt what he's seeing right now, but he's seeing technicalities is what he's seeing right now. Trying to redo the score bug and get this back up and running.
Yes. Here it is, 2nd and 2 from the Panther 40.
Simons goes in motion, but there's a flag. We're going to have a legal procedure, it looks like, here. As the officials have to talk about this, the referee with the white hat threw the flag, but now he's talking to his lineman. Kind of interesting.
Yep.
Let's see what we have here. Illegal substitution is the call on the Ironmen. That will back them up by 5 yards. Vince, we talked to Coach Hall before the game. The offense he was not worried about.
Right.
The defense, a different story?
Yeah, potentially, obviously, because, with everything that is happening, again, 17th year, you have some dudes rotating in, so you could definitely see some problems with that. But right now, this offense is going to be a problem for this Little Miami defense.
Fake the jet sweep, and Bodie Wolford takes it himself. Kind of holds his own face mask in the pile there at the end of that, like he might have gotten touched there, but referee's not buying it.
No,
so it's going to be a 3rd down and 5 for the Ironmen.
I like the way Little Miami kind of held their own and stayed at home on that.
Yep.
Little Miami's first chance really defensively now to get off the field and force a punt. As good of a drive as this is for Jackson because of how far back they started,
right.
They could end up coming up with nothing here other than a flipped field if they don't convert this. I would look for the passing game, and I would look at that combination at the top of the screen. We've got number 20, Eli Ray, and number 7. And that's Simons at the top.
He's going to throw.
He's looking down the middle instead for the tight end. He's got him. That's Eli Davis. And Eli Davis has the first down right down the seam.
And great execution there by the Jackson offense, being able to get that play up the middle and getting such a vital first down. And again, just an amazing drive so far from this Jackson offense.
1st and 10 once again for the Ironmen. They've gone down all the way to the 13-yard line. They've eaten up 5 minutes so far of this first quarter clock, and they've done it in some larger chunks, Vince.
Yes, they have done it in larger chunks, and it's kind of reminding me of what Notre Dame did to Ohio State kind of in the 2025 National Championship. Just eat up a lot of the clock and see what you can get.
Swing to Simons, and he is wrapped up in a touchdown saving tackle there for Little Miami. Is that 19 out there? I'm trying to get a good look at it.
Looks like number 9. 9 had the ball.
Luke Roberson.
Yes.
Yeah, Little Miami does not have a 9 on the roster, so 19 we're going to go with.
Yep, 19 it is.
2nd down and 5 now for the Ironmen, and now they're getting into a more power formation. Bring in the beef and give me the fullback in a I form. Give it to the fullback dive. That's Seitz right up the middle.
And
he's got that easy touchdown. Jackson.
And Jackson will take the 6-0 lead there again. I like teams who still use their fullback and are able to prioritize them. You don't see that a lot today in any kind of form of football. So being able to utilize the fullback there and get those use that power play to get that yards in for the touchdown.
The Ironmen with a 95-yard, 6-minute drive to start this game off. Establishing control. The kicker is number 33. That's Thatcher Brown. The kick is up. It's out of the stadium.
And into the trees.
And into the trees, indeed. Somebody's got to go chase that one down. Welcome to Southeast Ohio Coal Country, everybody. 7-0 Jackson, and we'll be right back here for work. back here in southeastern Ohio. And I'm sorry, Little Miami. They are for real. The Jackson Ironmen. 6 minutes to go. We are missing our score bug tonight. We're just going to go score bugless and keep the broadcast going. So we'll keep you posted of the score and time a little more often than we otherwise normally would. Joel Sackenheim, Chris Vogt, Vince Keep. Glad to have you with us here. Short kickoff that's going to be returnable. Up the sideline goes Little Miami. Great return there for number 8, Lucas Basta. And the Panthers are going to have pretty reasonable field position for their first drive, Chris.
Yeah, I like it. First off, let's go back to that last drive. Little Miami didn't do bad on creating, a defensive stops here and there. I mean,
No,
they had
they
a
did
couple
not.
third down opportunities to force punts, but Jackson just really good play
They
calling on that.
execute well.
Really good play calling.
This is a senior-laden team. They know each other very well. Now, this is the unit Coach Hall was a little more afraid of. I don't even want to say afraid, but there's a lot of people here on the defense that have not played as much as their offensive counterparts. So Little Miami might have the opportunity to run the score back against Jackson if they can get their offense going. A straight run up the middle, and
get
that's your
about
quarterback, Camden Fox.
6, 7.
Good little start there for the Panthers.
Yeah, Camden Fox, like we were talking about before on the broadcast, senior leader. The ball's going to be in his hands. Looks like they're starting out with the spread, a little bit of the run and shoot action going in there.
And no huddle as
Yeah,
well.
no huddle. I
Trying
like
to
it.
Force a quicker tempo. This is the college stuff of run the no huddle, get to the line, look over the defense, and then call the play via hand signal from the sideline. As you see all the players now looking over, and they've been looking for quite a bit there as Coach Mahan goes ahead and calls what he wants.
I like it. He's seeing what Jackson's doing.
That's it. Take a look over the defense, and off you go. Handoff up the middle. Nice little carry there for Andrew Trapp. And Trapp has got enough for a first down for Little Miami.
Good start to Little Miami's drive. I tell you what, I think it's one of these games where Little Miami's going to have to go punch for punch.
Yes.
The whole game.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if Jackson's defense is a little less experienced, there's lots of newbies on D, said Coach Hall. And here's the other thing, Chris. I know Vince and I got to talk to him before the game. The ones that are returning as starters are in different positions.
Right.
So it's kind of new for everybody
Right.
a little bit as we go.
Everything's changed up. So, again, a lot of these players are getting used to a different position and trying to figure out what the assignment is and what they need to do.
Up the middle again for another 4-yard gain for the Panthers. Looks like ball handler there is the quarterback. Once again, that's Camden Fox going straight up the gut. He's got Trapp back behind him as a linebacker / running back. He's listed defensively first.
Right.
Don't know if that means anything or not on this roster, but Little Miami is now Division I. That was not the case when Mahan was there the first time.
No, it was not.
School enrollment has gone up out in Morrow.
And also, too, they were in a different conference when Nate Mahan was there. That was their final years in the Southwest Ohio Conference.
And now it's defunct here pretty soon.
Pretty soon. The
Yes.
former, yes.
They still compete in football, and that's it.
Handoff up the middle. And you know what's interesting, too, Chris and Vince, looking at the history of so many of those schools that are all the almost Division I, barely Division I, Division II, and the top half of D3, they have basically continued to change conferences and do-si-do with each other, whether we're talking about the Fort Ancient Valley Conference, whether we're talking about the Mid-Miami League back in the day, which is all these guys plus Fenwick and Carroll.
Yep.
You're basically looking at just how can you reorder the deck chairs on the Titanic. As
Right.
Fox is going to run it up the middle, and enough for a first down. Little Miami's offense getting a little spark going here.
I'm liking what I'm seeing, Joel and Vince, just for mere fact that, I mean, you're putting the ball in Camden's hands a couple times on these drives.
It's basically, they've not thrown it yet. It's been Fox up the middle. It's been Trapp up the middle. And that's basically been the extent of it for Little Miami so far.
And Trapp's a stout fella, I tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
He's sitting a nice 5'11", 210.
210.
Man in motion, just window dressing really. Up the middle to Trapp. He's going to be wrapped up and tackled by Grant Kennedy. 255-pound senior nose tackle.
There's not some small guys on that line, I tell you that much.
Heck yes.
Hey Ross. Hey Talawanda. Hey, Baden, be sure you get a look at this game film. Jackson is in your region. This is a team you might have to deal with at some point in time in November. 2nd and 6th.
It all relates.
It all relates.
Yeah, heck yes, it does.
There's the jet sweep. Handoff goes to Lucas Basta, the return man. He tries to break contain out wide, but runs out of room there to the near sideline. And it's going to be a third down and 4 for Little Miami.
He stayed on his feet and was able to get an extra couple yards.
I thought he was going to be down back to the line of scrimmage, and he's able to get right back up and is able to gain those couple of extra yards there. What a heck of a play.
Good effort there on the part of Basta. And we'll see now if Coach Mahan ventures a pass or tries maybe 2 more running plays and says, I got 2 shots at this thing.
This is 4-down territory.
Trips receivers to the bottom of the screen, but that might just be window dressing as well. This is probably going straight up the middle. There it is to trap.
All right,
Jackson not fooled. He gets a yard. And we got some extracurricular stuff going on there between a couple of the players.
Stop it.
Yeah,
there
you don't want this.
No.
It's too early for bad blood. You don't even know each other yet. I don't think these 2 schools have ever played each other.
This is probably a first-time meeting.
Heck, I don't know if these 2 schools have ever heard of each other.
Right. You're coming into this game, someone from like Little Miami is like, Jackson. There's 2 Jacksons in Ohio up towards the north. And
it's a Maxwell and Jackson.
Maxwell and Jackson, yes.
All right, Joel Camden's backed out there. And, we're starting this play 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I know Dan wouldn't like that. 4th and 2. Hard count. Now they're looking over.
Timeout.
And Mahan is going to ask for the timeout.
I like the call.
Expires.
Yeah, I like the call.
All right. So 1:22 remaining in the first quarter of play. 4th and 2 coming up when we return to Jackson Alumni Stadium.
No, not him. I'm talking about my bank.
Want more from your checking account than a one-time bonus? Good news. You've got better options.
And we're back here at Jackson. It's a 4th down and 2 coming up for Little Miami. Coach Mahan went ahead and took the timeout to drop the play he wants. And here's the first big play of the day for this matchup. Jet sweep. It's Basta trying to break a couple tackles, and he got just enough. Linesman is going to spot him. Enough for the first down for the Panthers.
I like the call. I think that was a wonderful opportunity for Little Miami to figure out what they needed to do, and mad props to extend this drive.
Right. You're able to try that hard count just to see if you're able to get him to jump, able to get those yards through penalties, but you're able to take that timeout, come back, draw up a play, and you're able to get those yards that way.
Closing it on a minute left in this quarter, guys. 7-0 Jackson.
Again, the no huddle to look over the defense, but it's not a hurried no huddle.
No, it is not.
It's we're going to look over the line, no huddle, and see what the defense has given us. And Jackson, it looks like, has been playing with 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers for the most part, with this edge guy kind of hanging out there as well. We'll see if there's any mind games that goes on here. This is a straight quarterback run with Fox.
And there's a flag
There
down.
is a flag, and this could be a potential drive killer.
77.
And we're seeing a lot of extracurricular jawing going on here in the pile.
Love it. These guys might not see each other again.
This is a lot for guys that don't know each other at all.
Face mask call. Yes, it is a face mask call.
Wow, that's extending the drive even further there.
Yeah, Little Miami better be a little careful. They're not going to get invited back here for the Apple Festival. Face mask on the play, on the Ironmen. That's going to be enough. 5-yard penalty only. The referee signals first down, but that's wrong unless they're repeating the down. That would make it 1st and 1 if that is the case, because they're not moving the chains.
Right.
So for the ever rare 1st and 1.
You do not see this every day in football. That is for sure.
No, you don't. We're down to 30 seconds left to go. This might be the last play of the quarter. Quick moving quarter. Anything unlike the Baden-Hamilton third quarter from last night.
3 hour contest.
That was about that was a long one.
Fox takes the shotgun snap. He's going to throw for the first time toward the end zone. Overthrows his man and the defender. Intended receiver there was Carter Stewart on the play. And in coverage for Jackson was Byron Betts.
I like the call on that. However, I mean, you got 3 wide receivers on the larger side of the field.
That was a man coverage. Let's throw it up to our guy type of play there.
Yep.
But here's the other thing, too. It was 1st and 1, so you're not really risking a whole lot because it's still 2nd and 1.
All right.
And you get to run another play now in this quarter. 15 seconds remaining here in the first quarter in Jackson. Handoff up the middle to Trapp. And Trapp gets stuffed, but you know what? He only needed a yard. He got 2. That's going to be enough for a first down. The clock will pause for right now, and then we'll wind once they reset the chains. And I would imagine Little Miami will take this into the end of the first quarter. We have reached the end of quarter number 1 here in Jackson. And the Ironmen have a 7-0 lead with Little Miami still to complete their first drive here at Alumni Stadium.
No, not him. I'm talking about my bank.
Want more from your checking account than a one-time bonus? Good news! You've got better options. Open a Simply Free checking account at General Electric Credit Union and earn up to $350 every year with Roundup. You'll earn rewards on everyday debit card purchases and automatically add to your savings. Now that's better than a one-time bonus. Don't be thrown off by our name. Anyone in the tri-state can bank here. General Electric Credit Union. Bank with us.
Back at Alumni Stadium, Chris Vogt, first quarter. What are your thoughts?
Hey, I'm liking the way both teams are playing right now. Both offenses are looking really good today.
Yes.
Fox going to keep it up the middle. Fox on the run, and that is sweet. Gain of about 2 or 3 yards there, maybe 4 if the referee gives him a generous spot. It looked like he kept wandering a little diagonally down the linesman there. They're going to mark him at the 15-yard line. Well, we knew Jackson was bringing back a potent offense that was very experienced. We knew Jackson was bringing back a whole bunch of guys on defense that were going to be either having never started before or rotated to different spots. And, of course, Little Miami, with the third coach in 3 years, we didn't know what we were going to see from them.
Right.
And so far, everything has kind of held to form. It's been an offensive game. Interesting formation. Different quarterback out here.
Lucas Basta's out there.
Basta's going to go ahead and keep it and take it up the middle.
I'll tell you what, it's kind of deceiving because 8 looks like 3 if you're not, going to close it. So, maybe Jackson didn't know what was going on there. Here comes Camden Fox back out.
Hey, Vince, I'm going to date myself here. This is actually older than me, older than Chris. This is like a Danny Vogt comment.
Right.
Paul Brown, way back in the day, actually came up with the Cleveland Browns jersey that had a picture of a football at the tummy area underneath the number.
Huh.
The outline of a Brown football on a Brown jersey. And so running different option plays, you wouldn't know who actually had the physical football because they all had the image of the ball around their midsection.
Sounds like a little backyard football trickery there.
It's a Belichick thing because Paul Brown was Belichick before Belichick existed.
Right, exactly.
We're going to have a timeout called by Coach Mahan. That's the second timeout. Hey, Vince, what are you noticing so far?
So far, I think both offenses have been able to move pretty well. You've seen the Jackson offense are able to at right now with a 7-0 Jackson lead.
I think we've crashed. I got the spinning pizza wheel of death here as well.
Yeah. Oh. Just leveling the technical difficulties aside.
No. 5.
All right. Here it is, third and 2.
We are back, I believe. Yes, we are.
We are back.
We have returned from outer space. It was crazy out there. Sorry, folks, about that. The score bug is wrong and everything else. It is 7-7 as Lucas Basta was put into the game at quarterback instead of Fox for several of the last plays, and it ended up running a quarterback direct to the right pylon to tie the game up. This is now Jackson's second drive of the game, and a pitch to Simets there. And Jackson's offense picking up where they left off. They haven't had the ball since the 6-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yes.
That last drive for Jackson took 7 minutes plus off the clock.
Again, both teams have been able to have had long drives or are able to take time off the clock. I think Little Miami scored with about 10:25 off the clock in the second quarter. So, again, both about 6.5 to 7 minutes here off the clock to start off this game.
2nd down and 3 now for the Ironmen. 10-10 remaining in the second quarter of play. Man goes in motion and a whistle. That's going to be the second timeout there for the Jackson Ironmen. Both teams now down to one timeout. Vince, we saw this last night with Baden and Hamilton.
Yes.
Quite a bit. The two teams did not have their full complement of timeouts down the stretch of either half.
Right.
And here we are here in the first half of this game, the same thing. We got 10 minutes left to go in the second quarter, and both teams have already used 2 of their 3 timeouts.
Yes. Knowing RV Crouch, they use a lot of timeouts. Again, if they don't see something that is right, and that's probably what both of these teams are doing here. It's the first week. It's early. It's the first week of the year. Maybe they're still trying to get some of the stuff right, making sure that it is correct. That is why they're probably here with 10-10 in the second quarter. Both teams have used 2 timeouts.
I like the way they're using their timeouts. And I think they're using their timeouts the way they're supposed to. Little Miami used one when they were thinking about what they were going to do on 4th and 1.
Right.
And, you know,
right.
And here we are. 2nd down and 3. Jackson calling that final timeout, or the second to last timeout there.
We thank you all for watching. We're back up to 14 viewers back in Morrow. So we thank you. Brand new to the coverage area. Little swing pass, wide receiver screen.
And
that's Charlie
Close to a
Woodard.
First down.
Yep.
Jackson's got 4 receivers that they trust, skill players with the ball. As Boss a little slow to get up, but sorry, that's not Boss, that's number 6. That's Carter Haney slow to get up for Little Miami, but they pull him up out of the pile. And it looks like they do have enough for a first down for the Ironmen. It is a 1st and 10 now for Jackson at the 38-yard line. For those just joining us, Jackson took the opening kickoff from the 5-yard line after a poorly fielded kickoff and went 95 yards down the field, only facing 1 third down, I believe, really along the way.
1 third down.
Masterful offense. Took a 7-0 lead, and then Little Miami rolled up their sleeves and tied the game. Took it all the way down. Handoff up the middle.
Oh, and
look out.
there it is.
That's
and
Ryan
he's going to go all the way, and he is in for the Ironman touchdown.
62 yards. Handoff for Ryan Simets, and that man was not touched.
He gets into that end zone unopposed, and just like that, Jackson has taken the lead right back.
Well, here's the good thing about this. They got 9 minutes and 23 seconds for Little Miami to take this right back down the other way and
heck yes,
and get back into this thing.
You mean to tell me, Chris, you're thinking about clock management already? I wouldn't complain about that. Thatcher Brown on for the extra point. The holder is C.J. Crabtree. The kick is up. Kind of goes a little more vertical than you would think, but it is good. 14-7 in favor of the Ironmen. Chris, looking at Little Miami's defense.
Yeah.
They've seen Jackson's offense twice. They haven't appeared to have much of an answer.
No. I think Little Miami's scared to get spread out, and then that's what left open that run right up the middle there. Didn't even get touched, did he?
No, he did not.
Vince, if you were coaching Little Miami on the staff, and Coach Mahan did offer you a position if you ever want to leave, right?
Yes, he did offer me a position.
He did
That's
offer
right.
you a position earlier
He
tonight.
did. On the sideline, he's like, hey, if you and your dad want to come down to Little Miami, we are more than welcome to have you.
Are we supposed to disclose this or not?
I don't know if
I think it was an offhanded comment.
Right. He was serious.
I'm sure he would take him up on it. What would your
100%.
recommendation be if you would be Little Miami's defense? Would you take away the pass first and try to key and then see if the run beats you? Would you try to stop the run first and dare this senior quarterback to air it out? What would you think?
I haven't seen much of this senior quarterback from Jackson, and again, they've used a lot of the run. My goal right here would be try to stop this run and see what you can do pretty much with stopping the run and then trying to force them to pass, and maybe they take that risk. If they force the pass out, maybe the defense can respond with an answer.
Thatcher Brown kicking this off deep to Basta. And Basta's going to run this around to the right side, and there's going to be a flag. And then there's going to be a little bit extracurricular pushing, but not too much.
I think 13's going to get called for the hold there. I think we're going to get Tanner Sewell.
Poor field position for Little Miami, though. Chris, if you are indeed thinking about 9 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock, then you'd be looking at trying to maybe milk all of this with this long of a field. It may not be a horrible thing if it takes you this long to get down the field and tie the game up right before halftime. And Little Miami will get the ball to start the third quarter of play.
Right, I agree. You know, I think their offense is capable enough just looking at that first drive to kind of control that clock. And so you're going to have them 85 yards to maybe even less
and
than
maybe
that.
even
Right.
more.
You're gonna have about 92, 93
Run this
yards.
thing half the distance to the goal on the penalty. Put the ball down at the 9-yard line. Well, if Jackson scored starting at their own 5 at this end of the field going toward the left of your screen.
Yep.
Little Miami's got to be thinking, why not us? I also got to think that Little Miami, seeing how their defense is matching up with Jackson's offense, Little Miami's got to be thinking about touchdown or bust on virtually every possession of this game.
Pretty much, yeah. If your defense is going to let up plays like that, it's going to be basically just be touchdown or bust. Try to get into that end zone. No matter where we start, you're just going to have to grind down that field and wear out these defenses.
First down and 10 for Little Miami, and they're bunching everybody up real tight inside the hashes there. Fox back as the quarterback. The man goes in motion. That is number 1, Isaiah James. James is wrapped up after a gain of about 6 yards. And that's going to be a second down and 4 now for Little Miami on the jet sweep.
The start of that hacking up yards. Tick, tick, tick on that clock. You still got one timeout left if you're Little Miami to kind of control things and not this bad boy back up before the half.
Right.
Gotta love the band there for Jackson. Getting all the fans all excited there.
Yes.
Blood-curdling screams coming off the cheering section.
Boy, Jackson did fill the stands, I tell you that much.
Oh, it's
yes.
I'm actually impressed with Little Miami's travel as well.
They
I'm
were,
not
yes.
gonna lie.
Keep it on the screen. Right now we got to play, but then we'll go over there as Fox takes it around. Go ahead and pan now, Vince, and take a look there. You can see the fans.
Yeah, hey, I'm okay with that.
That is a huge
That's a
huge
2-hour
visiting
two-hour
section.
drive.
Right.
Look how big those bleachers are, too.
Yeah, they're big.
They have built those bleachers to be able to house either Ironton or Wheelersburg coming in here as a road team, because those two schools of southeastern Ohio are the two biggest rivals of Jackson, and they have a huge following.
I love the brick in the iron walls that are behind the end zones, just because it kind of gives it a Millette. Not a Millette Hall, but a Jaeger Stadium feel.
Yes.
You go underneath these bleachers we're at Brother Press Box, and you got the concession stand. It's nice.
Hand up the middle. Not a handoff. It's a straight quarterback run for Fox. Reminds you of Jaeger. What, Fenwick? Wrong Jaeger.
Yeah, the wrong Jaeger.
Other Jaeger.
Reminds you of Jaeger as we're deep in Ohio Bobcat territory.
We are deep in Ohio Bobcat territory. Second down and 3. A lot of people from here end up going to Athens for university, or straight up US 23 to go up to Columbus.
Yes.
To go to the Ohio State University.
Cannot forget the "the."
Can't forget the "the." Second down and 3 as Little Miami makes the last-minute substitution, bringing Trapp back on for Kerner. Trapp is now in the backfield, and now they're going to go ahead and look at the sideline. Still 20 seconds left on the play clock here. This is the slowest no-huddle you'll ever see. It is a no-huddle, but it is not a fast tempo.
No, it is not.
Mahan's now got him lined up after looking over the defense. He's gone ahead and made his play call. And there's Fox going to throw for the second time. His first completion of the day. It is caught on the back shoulder. That's Carter Stewart. And that's enough for a first down for the Panthers.
I like that call. Something that, Jackson's sitting here on their toes, probably expecting a run play. A good time to fit that in if you're the Mahan train.
Yes.
Clock paused, about 6:45 now coming up at the time of the snap. I know it's a hard thing, Chris. It's a lot easier sometimes in basketball. Football, you got that pause of the clock for spotting the ball at the first down. We almost need a whole separate person just to run the scorebug with this high-tech stuff, right,
Yes.
Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Trips receivers to the bottom of your screen, but it's all a decoy as they hand it off to Trapp right up the middle. And Trapp is going to get his way for another 4 yards. Chris, they're finding about 4 yards on that about any time they want it.
Well, it's nice. I'm going to comment on Little Miami and Jackson's offensive lines. They're making decent enough holes for them to squeeze through and grab 3 or 4 yards every time.
100%.
So, you're looking for a nice 2nd down and 5 opportunity here for Little Miami. And we're getting ready to go under 6 minutes.
Yes. You're able to get, if you have the size of the O-line and they're able to make some room, again, use that run game to attack.
You want to score, and you want to score slowly in this case. Jet sweep.
Good take.
No, it's a fake. Fox is going to keep it up the middle. And Fox is going to have possibly enough for a first down. Depends on which. It's going to say it's interesting because the referee at the bottom side of the screen is a yard past.
Yeah, he ends up putting that ball over. We're looking at Joel's replay.
I got our own live stream going here, so it says 14 watching now. It's really 13 plus
13.
me. Our 13 closest friends in Mainville. Welcome to the coverage area. We're glad to have you with us.
We're padding the stats.
On the Report Ohio, we are padding the stats.
We are padding this. Exactly.
Hey, why don't you watch it on your phone, too? There.
Yeah, exactly. We
we
get up to
have more
15. Some of these viewers, too, are probably my family and friends. Hello to those family and friends from the great city of Hamilton, Ohio.
If your last name is Keep, we're glad to have you, right?
Yes, we are. Yes, 100%.
We'll keep them all right. 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle to Trapp, and Trapp is going to get about 3 yards plunging forward on this. Jackson's defensive line been very busy trying to stop the run up the middle.
Keep them all right. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. Yeah, keep them all right.
It's a homonym.
It is. It very much so is.
2nd down and 8. It's funny. Vince and I got to meet each other on a 2.5-hour car ride on the way out here to Jackson, Ohio with our buddy Chris Vogt. You and I think, know almost every single same person as each other, but had never met.
We have never met each other. And we kind of went down like the same road, like you were saying. Like we both work in the Miami Hamilton Harriers athletic department. We did PA announcing.
Yep.
And we both worked as orientation leaders at Miami Hamilton.
That's
so
it.
A lot of familiarity with what we have done.
Up the middle goes Fox. It's funny. I was a Baden Ram. You're a Hamilton Big Blue grad.
Yes.
But going to Miami Hamilton after being as involved as I was at Baden.
Yeah.
One thing I kind of swore to myself is I am not going to let the ham cam suck me in the same way that Baden did. I did so much at Baden, being the mascot,
right,
giving tours, whatever. I'm like, I need to just be a college student. And the Hamilton campus was so great of an experience, it ended up sucking me in anyway. Public address announcer, campus tours, whatever. We're down below 4 minutes left to go here in the second quarter of play. A big third down.
Joel, you took the words right out of my mouth. Big play. I think this is going to be a big make or break play for here, Little Miami with the
no running backs. Fox going to throw. He overthrows his intended target, and that's Isaiah James.
Joel, I'm not for certain if James was even going to be able to make that first down. We talk about that. If you're going to want to get a first down on 4th down and pass the ball, get the guy past the chains.
Clock is stopped at 3:34. I might be tempted for a second to think about going for this. You punt this ball back. If Jackson can punch this in with 3.5 minutes left to go, you're down by 2 scores to start the second half out.
You don't want to dig yourself too deep of a hole where you're not able to climb yourself back out. And with how these offenses have been moving,
I think Little Miami is going to call timeout here.
They've got a punter on the field.
It is
is Carter Stewart.
It is 4th and 5. You could hard count this.
It's a fake, and there's a timeout. The whistle has blown. I don't know that's a timeout. It might be a delay of game. There's a flag all the way down there in the secondary. That's the back judge who's responsible for the play call. It is a delay of game. It's kind of a fortunate thing for Coach Mahan because I don't think that fake punt fooled anybody.
That, but you also, if you're going to punt now,
right? You
have more room to
give it a
now.
4th and 10, you're going to punt now, no doubt about that. But, yeah, I think that was absolutely a fake punt that was called, but decided on late.
Right.
And I think Jackson probably had that thing snuffed out. That delay of game penalty actually worked out all right for Little Miami.
It probably pretty much did.
So, once again, the punter on the field there is Carter Stewart. And this is going to be the deep snap, and Stewart's going to punt this ball up.
Ooh.
Whirly bird. I don't think you needed more room for that punt, Chris. I think
No, you really didn't. In fact, it might have been better. You would have got an extra 5 yards there. It looks like you're going to be at the 25.
Yeah.
We'll see where the referee spots this. And, yes, Chris, I think you're on the money there. It's an NFL touchback of sorts, possibly, depending on what flavor of the month it happens to be in the NFL. Seems like they keep changing the yard line where it's going.
They like to change things up. They like to keep things interesting.
it's wherever the coach tells you it is. You see the coach telling you where it's at. That's
right.
where it's supposed to go.
Exactly.
Right?
There you go.
3:27 left to go in the first half of this
I'll say
game.
this might be Little Miami's biggest defensive probably possession right now is if you want to get that ball back after the half. You don't want to be down by 2 possessions.
I'll tell you what this reminds me of,
1.
Chris. This reminds me of watching a tennis match.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
when you have the serve, you need to win that game and hold serve. Jackson's defense has just broken serve, and it's the first break of the match. Now Little Miami is kind of behind by a break, and they need a break here. Otherwise, going to be down by 2 scores going into halftime.
Passing?
Here. Yes,
right.
a rollout for Bodie. He's going to throw it.
What
and he's got Simets.
Wow.
Tiptoeing his way down
What
the
a
sideline.
catch.
And it stops the clock at 3:19. Yeah, how fantastic is that?
That was a big play.
That was huge.
This is your senior leadership there. Vince, you on the Hamilton coaching staff, we were talking about your quarterback last night.
Right.
This is the type of play your guys going to be making more
Yes.
and more of over the next year and a half.
We are. Hamilton started Jaden McClain. He's a wonderful dude. And again, we had the same situation happen 2 years ago in 2023 when we first played Baden. Antonio Mathis, he is graduated now. He came in and he had to start that big game. That was his first ever varsity start. So just getting to know like what you're doing. And again, same thing with Jaden McClain happened as Antonio Mathis 2 years prior. And we saw a lot of that last night. And again, you always want to have those a good senior leadership and someone with experience to come in for these big games like this one here tonight.
The handoff up the middle to Simets, and he is brought down by a bunch of Panthers, including a number 36 who is not on our roster. The mystery Panther. We'll call him David Tepper. No, he's better than that. 3rd down and 2 for Jackson. We're down below 3 minutes left to go, and this, again, Little Miami's chance to break service. Right back.
Yep.
Jackson is going power formation, only 1 wide receiver, and they're bringing in the beef to the left side of the offensive line. Fullback dive up the middle. That was the touchdown run earlier, and Gavin Seitz is going to go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, we're right next to Little Miami's booth up here in the booth, and we heard them say fullback right when it was snapped.
Yes.
Really, really loud. Brady Keep says hello to you, by the way.
Oh, hello.
Making a comment, says, that boy Vince.
Hello, Brady. Thank you for joining us here tonight. We are glad to have you here for some amazing, wonderful Week 1 action of high school football.
Saturday night extravaganza.
Oh, yes.
It's Saturday night, and the feeling's right. Don't believe me, just watch. 1st and 10 for the Ironmen.
Everybody's out of the backfield.
Bodie's going to throw this thing deep. There's a little contact.
No, they ain't going to call that.
Not called. Charlie Woodard is the intended receiver. He got a little incidental contact tangled up with his DB there.
Hey,
I kind of agree with the no call there.
Yeah, I also like the offensive play call from Jackson. You're going to have to at least let one rip, and that was probably a good time to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you have to take those shots. Those are necessary there.
It may not be in the repertoire of an all-day aerial attack for Jackson, but you got to try it once.
You have to make those calls, yes.
Bodie Wolford is experienced and talented enough as a quarterback. They could never run it again and still have a lot of success offensively if they wanted to go all in on the passing game. I'm not saying that they should, but they would be able to have success. Look at that throw.
Yeah, almost an
through
identical
the
play.
arms of Simets on the little button hook return pass, and that's going to be 3rd and 10 with 1:58 remaining in the first.
It worked. It worked earlier this drive, didn't it?
It did.
Yes, it did.
I would look here toward the tight end up the seam. Seems to me like in the first drive of the game on a critical play when they had spread everybody else out, it was slip of the tight end past the linebacker. They were able to throw a dot to him and get a big chunk play here. Though it's interesting they're not in the shotgun. They are definitely in an I formation here. Interesting formation for Jackson. Fumble. Bodie's going to keep it and run himself. Making lemonade out of lemons there. He's going to get about 4 yards, but Jackson's probably going to punt this ball. And Little Miami's defense, give them credit. They've got their first stop of the night.
Hey, I think both programs are playing well enough to say, hey, we're waiting for you to mess up.
Right.
And that was the actual first mess up that I've seen all day, other than that touchdown run that Little Miami let go.
Right.
Jackson is going to run this play clock all the way down and take a timeout. Little Miami, if they wanted to take a timeout and set this offensive drive up, they have one remaining. But I don't see them doing it either. Coach Mahan, I think, is perfectly happy to set up a punt return, and if they don't get what they want to, maybe go ahead and run the ball and go in at halftime only down 14-7
right.
and getting the ball to start the third quarter.
And there is that timeout you said earlier, Joel. And again, a minute 9. They are able to drain this clock down to about a minute 9.
It's going to be a 4th and 5. It's going to be across midfield, but I can't imagine Jackson would want to go for this.
No.
And leave open the possibility of Little Miami giving a short field.
I think Little Miami's offense has shown enough for Jackson to respect it, too.
Right.
If I can think out loud here, though, as I'm processing all of this against you guys, though, Little Miami's completed one pass.
Yeah.
One,
really
yeah,
have. And that was that number 44 up the middle.
41, yeah. Everything
41.
else has been a run, pretty much up the middle with the exception of the jet sweep.
Yep.
Let's think about this from a worst-case scenario. If you run your offense out there for Jackson right now, and you don't get this, you're only giving them a minute 9.
Right.
They only have one timeout, and they have not proven their ability to throw the ball more than once all half.
Right.
Is it really that big of a risk? Maybe you might consider it, but no, the punter is on the field for Jackson.
I like the call, Joel.
Thatcher
I do.
Brown. It's the smarter play.
It's just, you're up 7 again. It's the smarter play. Just give them back the ball, pin them back.
Little Miami is not buying this, by the way, at all. They do not have a man back on defense in any way. They're in a traditional 4-4 setup here, expecting a fake.
I love it.
And there's
That's
the
a good
punt.
call. They're not even going to want to touch it. That's a heck of a punt.
It's going to go ahead and take a
That's
bounce
heck of
and
a
roll
punt.
in, and it's going to be down. Into the end zone it goes. A great opportunity there. That was Hunter Long, but the punt instead ran a little bit long for Hunter. 59 seconds remain in the second quarter. The ball's getting brought out to the 20-yard line.
Like some say, so close, but yet so far.
I don't think Coach Mahan will be all that aggressive here. Do you, Vince?
No, I don't think he will. I mean, you're 59 seconds. You have a couple options. Try to maybe get into field goal range. Maybe try to make a kick possibly to closing up this game from a 7-point game to a 4-point game. But honestly, I just don't see him being that aggressive here with about 59 seconds. And again, if you don't get what's going right, just take it at halftime. You're only down 1 score. And you get the ball back.
Take it to
Victory formation, even though they're down by 7. Yeah,
Yes.
I see exactly what's going on here.
Love it.
Yep.
Hey, folks.
I think what a first half. This is great.
This has been a great first half.
Let me put this into perspective. This is a visiting team with its third coach in 3 years, coming off a 1-10 campaign. Because yes, Chris, they were 1-9, but they made the playoffs.
That's right.
That is right.
Yeah.
They were the 14th seed, and they fell to, well, who else but where Chenault came from, Winton Woods.
There you go. And you're on the road 2.5 hours away. You're playing against a perennial powerhouse that is a 4-time conference champion in the last 4 years, that was in the playoffs last year, beat New Philadelphia in the first round, and then lost to the state champions Bishop Watterson. You're playing in their place. They've got all kinds of returning starters on offense, including a returning senior quarterback, several returning skill position players, and yet here we are. It is 14-7 at halftime only in favor of the Jackson Ironmen, and Coach Mahan has to absolutely love where he's at here.
100%. I mean, again, you're going into somewhere. This is Southeast Ohio, the perennial powerhouse. And we were told that when I was coming in here, because this is my first time seeing this region of football. So, again, Nate Mahan has to be pretty impressed. You're only down 7. You have a chance to win this game. And, again, you're in a pretty dangerous territory here. Again, not saying that right in the game right now, but just overall the atmosphere we've seen so far tonight. You're just able to get a good start here. You're down 14-7. Just do what you need to do to win this game.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I
This is
say,
a great
I'm
game.
impressed.
I'm glad we're here to watch this one. I think one of the things we were worried about is going up against a coach that's
Right.
Been here for 17 years. Has got the groundwork already laid. Mahan's got to put the groundwork in twice. This is the second time.
This is the second time putting in the groundwork.
Build it once,
Miami.
you got to build it again.
Yes.
Right. But you know what? He knows. He probably knew some of the players before he left, so he probably already knows some of the kids that were coming into the system. Both programs are playing really, really sound ball. You wouldn't expect this to be a week 1 game right here, just by the way they're playing.
Fewer penalties.
Yeah,
and we'll keep an eye on this in the second half. Fewer cramps so far than we noticed last night with Baden and Hamilton.
It feels a little bit nice. It was a little warm when we were out there, but it seems like that sun is really starting to go away right now. It feels comfortable right now.
All right, Chris, are we ready for – that's not the one we want. We want to scroll down a lot farther down than that. We are ready for the fastest 3 minutes. Actually, 9 minutes. It's the one above that. Halftime highlights from Friday night, and go, folks. Baden at Hamilton. We're going to kick off the season with a kickoff itself. James Brink is going to do a little fake action to Declan Brown, but he's going to keep it swing down the right sideline. How's this for a way to start a rivalry game at Virgil Schwarm Stadium? A 97-yard kickoff return. The Baden Rams take a 7-0 lead on the very first play of scrimmage. Baden's special teams kept them alive and gave a 10-7 lead, but on a critical third down before halftime, Jaden McLean scrambling finds Jordan Bryant. This guy's going to be pretty good coming up, I think, for Hamilton.
Yeah, I like the way he played yesterday. Very,
Keeps the drive alive with just over a minute left. Look at this throw from Jaden McLean. He's going to throw it over the outstretched arms of Rocco Milazzo by the goal line. It's going to fall right into the breadbasket of Elijah Jones. And although Baden had the lead for the entire first half, Hamilton is actually going to take the lead into halftime with a 14-10 lead. First Baden possession, second half. It's Colt Emerson. There's James Brink. Look at that photography from Chris Vogt there on the Hamilton line. Right into and Baden is going to keep the lead for the remainder of the ball game. They go press coverage on the receivers, not as afraid to give up the deep pass, daring McLean to beat him. Look at Lem Grayson jump the slant route there. There's interception number 1. It would not be the last one of the second half for McLean, who got a few growing pains there.
That was
again,
kind of
press coverage. Look at Grayson pressing, and it's going to be the overtop cry to the safety coming down for the interception for Baden. And still with only a 4-point lead, it felt like Baden had a little more control at this point in time, but with 7.5 left to go at a 4-point lead. First career touch for Chase Even. And he's going to run this thing across left tackle. How's this for a first career carry in high school varsity football? You tell your kids and grandkids about this run. 36 yards to pay. He'd add another one later on. The Baden Rams win the rivalry game 38-20 despite having negative 50 yards of total offense in the first half. Fairfield. This is Corius Booker. 35-yard touchdown run to give the Indians the lead up in Huber Heights. But the very next possession, with under 4 minutes left to go, Wayne Warriors, quarterback, another lefty, scrambling and finding James Dyer IV for a game-winning touchdown catch and run into the end zone. Wayne with a 7-point win over the Fairfield Indians. Over at Coomler, the Edgewood Cougars with a 20-0 lead, but Oak Hills comes all the way back. Lincoln Schreiber, a 4-yard scramble into the end zone, and that was the margin of victory. They make the extra point, and Oak Hills with a 21-20 hard-fought victory over the Edgewood Cougars at Coomler. Barnett Stadium, 11-point lead for Middletown. Their defense coming up. Goal line stand on 3rd and goal. They stop Troy from punching into the end zone. Troy decides, down 11, let's go ahead and kick the little tiny itty-bitty field goal here, and then bring on the hands team, Chris Vogt, from Middletown. And the Middies hold on for a 28-20 win.
Big win.
Over at Dwyer Field, Matthias Brunicardi, 2 touchdown runs for Springboro, also new to our coverage area. These are both first half touchdown runs. Going to set Springboro up with the margin that they would hold on to for the rest of the game. 21-7 Panthers over the Comets. Up at Clayton Northmont, no score in the first quarter. Colby Barr breaks the scoreless tie with a 25-yard field goal for the Thunderbolts. And on the ensuing kickoff, Chris, we never use the word ensuing for any other reason in the English language other than this.
On the 4th and 6. It's 4th and 6 on the kickoff.
99-yard kickoff return to put Lebanon tiptoe down the sideline for the Warriors, keeping himself barely inbounds. And then right before halftime, it's Luke Fowler to Nick Lauder, the tight end. very narrow window in the corner of the end zone here as Lebanon ends up pulling away at the end of this thing. They take an intentional safety to make the score look a little wonky. 20-5, the Lebanon Warriors.
Really like the way Lebanon's going to play this year.
Kings, Max Lockwood, the first touchdown of many touchdowns the Kings would score at Sycamore. Little Miami, your old coach going to Sycamore, and they got it handed to them in the first game. 44-7 there in Aviator Land. The Aves are grounded. Jackson Fry to Cam Taylor. This is the game winner for St. Xavier at Balaban over Lakota West. They may see each other again in the playoffs. It seems like they always do. Lakota East, Niall Knutson, 8-yard touchdown pass to Patrick McFarland. East with a big win over Centerville up at Elk Stadium. CHCA Griffin, Ridner Richard to Alex Wells. Look at that throw. Pitch and catch. And the CHCA Eagles knock off Fenwick handily in the first game of their season. Out at Turpin, here's another public Catholic school rivalry. It's Nauman with the 4th touchdown of the night for McNicholas. This is going to put him up, and then McNick's D would have to hang on as Turpin tries to drive this thing late. Turpin's last gasp on a 4th down, long throw over the middle. It looks like the quarterback had a man open here, but it's going to fall harmlessly to the turf. And McNicholas is going to hold on for a hard-fought 34-28 victory at Turpin. Almost defending state championship in the same school district. Anderson came one play away from winning state last year. This is Jordan Davis, and Jordan Davis is going to have 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air for the Anderson Raptors. They're hosting a team from Kentucky. They can't even find anybody from Ohio that wants to play them in week 1. But the Anderson Raptors roll and tear up the Jaguars of Cooper, 52-10. Winton Woods, here's Nate Dawson, the defensive end in blue, with a pick 6. Look at this tip and run in for the Warriors against Springfield. These are 2 teams that have been fighting for state titles in recent years. A late touchdown gives Woods a 7-point win over the Springfield Wildcats. Ross fans look away. CJ Woodside from 34 yards out with 8 seconds remaining. The Wyoming Cowboys extend their road-winning streak, 24-21. Here we go. Harrison, Brady Lowen to Josh Adelsberger for 35 yards to the end zone.
What a pass.
The Wildcats over the Loveland Tigers, 34-13. West Clermont, that's another team familiar to Coach Mahan. Landon Young, 4 touchdowns tonight, or last night I should say. Here are 2 of them. Mount Healthy was good enough to beat Baden last year in the playoffs. They were not good enough to go out to West Clermont and handle anything with the Wolves. Look at that final score, 42-7 West Clermont. Withrow, Jay Hollingsworth with a touchdown. Milford, what happened to the Eagles? 35-0. McLean, Adina fumbles on the first play. Andrew Potts with a touchdown run for Greenfield McLean.
Is that grass?
Yes, it's grass here. The Frontier Athletic Conference. It's conference rival. Here's another conference rival for Jackson. Hillsborough on 4th and 3 with only a 6-point lead. Triple option on grass. Stray captain. And the captain with his 4th touchdown run of the night. And Hillsborough with a surprising win over Western Brown. Another 4-touchdown game for Julian Baker of Miami Trace from the Frontier Athletic Conference. This one coming up here is an 89-yard touchdown run for Miami Trace over rival Waverly out here in southeastern Ohio. Look at 89 yards to pay dirt here. Miami Trace with a 3-touchdown victory over the Waverly Tigers. Jackson, you're going to see Miami Trace at some point in time in conference season. Bloom Carroll and Chillicothe. Kyson Klein, look at this run here as he gets bouldered up with nowhere to go, bouncing around, keeps his legs churning, and goes 57 yards to the end zone.
My goodness.
Bloom Carroll with a 20-7 victory over the Chillicothe Cavaliers out here in southern Columbus. Coldwater with a 1-point lead in overtime. Valley View goes for 2 and loses at the end. At Alter on Thursday night, Kettering Fairmont, J.J. Hill with the tie score, 32 seconds left to go. Strip sack by Nolan Ogburn. Wyatt Reifschneider picks it up, returns it to the end zone. The Alter Knights with a 7-point win. They score 2 touchdowns in the last 45 seconds of this game to beat Kettering Fairmont at Roush Stadium. Go over to where it says right next door to it, Chris, halftime scoreboard. Boom, right there, and then hit slideshow there, sir. This is better if I handle this. Here we go. Other games that we do not have highlights for. Goshen beats up on Monroe. Chris, I did not see this one coming at all. None of us picked the Monroe Hornets. Or all of us picked the Monroe Hornets, but Goshen comes up to Monroe and takes them down. Here's a nice score for Andy Stucker. The Talawanda Brave. They lost to Taylor at the opening game last year, but Talawanda beats up on Taylor last night with a 51-21 win. We'll have to keep an eye on Coach Stucker and Talawanda to see how much improved they are in year 3 of his program.
Yes,
Vandalia Butler over the Franklin Wildcats, 17-0 there in Vandalia. Preble Shawnee goes to Madison. It was a closer effort this year than it was last year, but Preble Shawnee with a 35-18 win over the Madison Mohawks. Carlisle, brand new to our coverage area as well, as we have expanded to cover all of Warren County, not just Butler County this year. Carlisle taking it to the Trailblazers of National Trail. 5-score win for the Indians. Waynesville coming out here to Clinton Massey playing in Clarksville. It's not this far out here, but still, it's on the way.
It is pretty far, yes.
Clinton Massey was in this Frontier Athletic Conference at one point in time.
Yes.
They were so good that the other conference members kicked them out and sent them to the Southern Buckeye instead. He was at the SAABC.
It's a Southern Buckeye Athletic and Academic Conference. It's a whole mouthful.
That's right. It's academic as well, I guess. 35-13 Clinton Massey over Waynesville. New Miami played this game earlier today against Gamble Montessori down at Stargell Stadium. Gamble Montessori was awful last year, maybe the worst team in the state of Ohio. But this year, they've at least improved. They got a new head coach. And I think Gamble plays Madison next week, so we'll see how those two match up. Walnut Hills, Western Hills. It is the academics over the athletes. 27-24 in favor of the smart kids at Walnut Hills. Boyd County, Kentucky, and Galley Academy. Why in the world do we care? Well, the Jackson people care because of second-level points. When you beat somebody and then that team wins more games, you get playoff points for each game that they win. Galley Academy is Jackson's Week 2 opponent. The Blue Devils were taking on Boyd County, Kentucky last night, but the Lions come up here to Ohio across the river and knock out the Blue Devils, so no possible second-level points for Jackson next week when they play Gallia Academy. Wheelersburg over Kip Columbus, 43-8, and I'm told Cooper Heimbach of Wheelersburg set a school record in this game with a 51-yard field goal made for Wheelersburg.
Wow.
And then he came back out and broke his own record and kicked a 53-yarder in the same game.
That is awesome.
The Pirates over Kip Columbus, 43-8. Ironton and Shelby Valley, Kentucky. Ironton is obviously a perennial opponent for the Jackson Ironmen. That game is in Kentucky. It starts at 8:30 tonight.
Oh.
I wonder if they're almost in the central time zone would be my question. I don't know
enough.
how far away Shelby Valley is, but Ironton has to travel to find opponents, that's for sure. We'll see what happens later on tonight. That game kicking off in about 20 minutes down in Kentucky. Mechanicsburg over Washington Courthouse. So Washington Courthouse also in the Frontier Athletic Conference. This is also not going to generate any second-level points for the Jackson Ironmen. All right, let's look at a little bit of playoffs here, Vince. We're going to start here in Little Miami's region, and Hamilton and Little Miami are in the same region. You could see each other in the playoffs.
Oh, we 100% could. That would be a very interesting game there, 100%.
We have 4 teams at the bottom of this thing that are not ranked at the moment. Moeller and Princeton were playing each other this afternoon.
I do have a final score from that.
That score has gone final. Okay, tell me what you got.
From Mike Dyer, it is Princeton 41. It is Princeton 20, Moeller 41. Moeller
takes
that
with the win. So the Catholic schools doing very, very well.
They very much are this week.
Once again, Steve Vaughn lovingly calls this the GCL South button.
Yes.
Basically, if you're in the GCL South, you automatically just move up a few places in the rankings.
100%.
What it is more than anything else is Moeller beats Princeton.
Right.
St. X beats Lakota West.
Yes.
Those are the 2 best teams in your conference the last couple years.
Right.
I'm kind of sure that the GCL South is better than you at this moment.
Right, yeah.
With a snapshot. That can change, obviously.
Everything can change.
And then you take those GCL South teams and look at Moeller's schedule. Mount Carmel, Illinois. Trinity, Kentucky. Christ Presbyterian of Tennessee.
Yes.
The next 3 games are out-of-state opponents. They got a Michigan team in week 10 from Muskegon.
Yep.
These are teams that oftentimes win a ton of games.
100%.
It's not just that they're finding somebody out of state, but they're playing opponents that are quality opponents.
Right.
Look at Elder up here. They beat Mount Zion Prep of Maryland. Now, I'm told that that is not a quality opponent. I'm told that if the OHSAA even deems that a game at all, will be considered a Division 7 equivalent. And Elder mathematically would be better off if that were considered a no contest. Actually.
Right, a no contest.
It would not hurt them in terms of their first level points, Mount Zion Prep. But they got Cub Cap next week. That's a good opponent.
That is a very good opponent,
St. Xavier of Kentucky, Springboro's in there.
Yep.
They got Highlands, Kentucky, and Bishop Chatard.
Yep.
So they're playing good teams there.
They
That's
are
the way
100%
this goes.
playing very good teams there. And that's how it is with the GCL South. They play the best of the best teams week in and week out.
And they travel to play people if they have to. It would actually help the GMC quite a bit if they could cut down to an 8 or even a 7-game conference
That's
schedule.
how it used to be back in the day. That's how it was, I think, up until 2021, 22. The GMC had that 8-game conference schedule. You were able to play that other opponent. I remember back in the day when I was at Hamilton, I remember it was our 2 out of conference where someone in the ECC like West Claremont, and we were supposed to play Edgewood, but both of those years, they were canceled due to COVID.
Yeah, so here's the thing about this, too. When you play a week of conference play, your entire conference from top to bottom is guaranteed to go exactly 5-5.
100%, yes.
Okay? The non-conference schedule gives you the opportunity to pull extra wins into that pool.
Right.
Now, in the GMC's case, maybe it's good this year they're playing a 9-game conference schedule because the whole conference as a whole went 3-7 this weekend. So they're pulling fewer points in than an average conference week. That's no bueno.
Yes.
But that's going to hurt them then when they play each other. Next week, we're going to start conference play in the GMC, and only 3 teams. That would be Oak Hills. That would be Middletown. And that would be
Lakota East.
Lakota East. They are the only 3 that are going to be worth any points at all next week. So we're going to get into week 3, and I can already guarantee you the Lakota East Oak Hills loser, as well as at least 7 other teams in your conference are going to be second-level pointless through 2 weeks.
Right.
Not where you want to be.
No, it is not.
As
100%.
far as Little Miami goes, if they can beat Jackson, and they're only down 7 at halftime, Jackson stands the chance to win a lot of games in Division III and can rack up some wins. And each time they would win, it would be another set of points for Little Miami based on school size. So let's look at Jackson and see what their schedule looks like. They're way at the bottom. I know this is an eye chart here. Little Miami in blue is a Division I opponent. They win that, they're going to get 6.5 first-level points. Galley Academy, that's going to be worth 5 points to Little Miami if they beat Jackson and then Jackson turns around next week and beats the Blue Devils. Wheelersburg is already going to be worth some points because
they
won already. Western Brown, Ironton, and then you got the conference play after that with Hillsboro, McLean, Washington Courthouse, Miami Trace, and finishing up the year with Chillicothe. And again, a 20-7 loss for Chillicothe at Bloom Carroll last night. Bloom Carroll was in the state finals a couple years ago. That's a proud football program.
That is a good proud football program out
there.
That
might speak a little higher of Chillicothe than in years past. Looking at other teams in this region, look who's at the top. Alter and Baden, both with victories over Division I opponents, and they'll continue to play tough opponents next week as Baden will play Dixie Heights in Kentucky. We don't know the point value for that because the OHSAA still needs to categorize the out-of-state schools according to division. Alter will play Taft.
That's going to be
always a tough opponent there. But that was a huge win for Alter, the first time they beat Kettering Fairmont since 2019.
Oh.
And they play each other week 1. That's the Kettering version of the Baden-Hamilton game.
Exactly.
Every year, and it's at Roush Stadium every year because Alter
does not have
a home field. They're the only ones left in the GCL now that do not have a home field, besides actually Moeller.
Moeller does not have a home
field. How does Moeller
I ask myself that all the time. How does Moeller not have a home field?
Somebody out in Blue Ash, or anywhere else out there for that matter, that's got a little financial backing, build Moeller a stadium.
Weren't they supposed to get like a stadium, and like a sportsplex kind of stadium off campus?
Maybe at Grooms or somewhere like that over at Blue Ash?
I saw that, and I think it fell through.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not even sure.
looking at some other teams here, and you're going to notice again, with the quality of teams that have been brought over here, we have lost the Northern Rim. We have lost Wapakoneta.
Right.
We have lost St. Mary's Memorial and Lima Shawnee. And we picked up Jackson.
Yep.
And we picked up Miami Traces in here. They've gone back and forth between 11 and 12 over the years. We've picked up Chillicothe in this region. Obviously, Western Brown is going to be included as well, as will Hillsborough, who beat Western Brown. Wilmington in here. London stays here from last year. They are kind of north and east, up just west of Columbus. So fairly spread out geographical region
Very much
here.
so. You're having teams from Dayton and then Cincinnati and then all the way out here in southeast Ohio competing against each other in a region. So this could be, when it comes time for playoffs, a very interesting region for travel.
Yes, and very important to try to get a first-round home game. The way this is currently set up, they have changed again this year in the OHSAA. We are now pared down from 16 teams to 12 teams, which means 4 teams are going to have a first-round bye.
Yes.
That's a prize.
Yeah,
late in the year when you're
so.
hurt and you got injured players or whatever, to be able to go to the first round opponent and scout who you're going to play.
Potentially 100%. And then also now the other thing is too, that third week of playoffs is going to be home sites. Neutral sites will now be used for the final 3 weeks. So that third week now is going to be a home playoff game for these teams.
I think that is super exciting, and honestly, if the OHA asks my opinion, I'd love to see the regional final also on a campus.
Oh, 100%.
If you get that 1 seed, let's keep you home all playoffs.
Right, exactly.
Let's make it mean something to schedule up and beat good opponents.
100%.
But now the difference between getting the 4 seed and the 5 seed is getting a bye or not.
Right.
The difference between the 8 seed and the 9 seed is whether you are traveling out to Jackson or whether Jackson is traveling to you.
Right.
Whether you're traveling up to Bell Fountain. Think about a Jackson to Bell Fountain road game. That'd be about a 3-hour drive.
Probably about 3
from
hours.
one to the other.
Yes.
That's rough.
Oh.
Absolutely rough. Looking at a couple other regions here. Actually, we don't have a whole lot of time, but let's take a look at Division II real quickly here. Edgewood, Monroe both lose. Springboro's coming up on Edgewood's schedule. That's not going to be easy.
No, it is
Monroe's
not.
got a Fenwick team that just got trounced by CHCA. This might be a bit of a tough region here for Edgewood
100%.
and Monroe to navigate.
Oh, 100%.
Division I, Region 2, Middletown lurks here. They are not in with the rest of their GMC brethren. Middletown got the win over Troy. They're sitting on the 3 line. Troy is now Division I as well.
Yep.
But again, look at Middletown's schedule. They got 9 more opponents that are all conference.
All conference opponents.
Only 2 of them won their first game.
Right, only 2
this weekend.
Yes.
So this is going to hurt the GMC a little bit in terms of week 1. I know nobody likes to think about the playoffs when it comes to week 1, but it is very, very important in week 1 for your conference as a whole to win their games. And obviously, if
100%.
you're in the GCL, if you're in the Frontier Athletic Conference that only has a 5-game conference schedule, you now have 4 more weeks to continue to pile up wins outside of conference before you bring it back in.
Right, exactly.
Chris Vogt, welcome back to the broadcast, my friends.
I had to slip away and get a Mountain Dew, and
good for you.
Had to get the veins going.
Had to get the blood pumping, the adrenaline going.
I'll tell you what, if you wanted to kind of do a little quick hitter on this first half, Joel,
yes, sir.
And Vince, was just talking to a couple of the new Miami coordinators in the booth next to us, and I said, "You guys are playing really well."
Right.
He said, "We're just trying to change the culture."
100%.
And one of the coaches said, we were down by 20 at least every single game except for one, the game we won last year.
Right.
Wow.
So at halftime, only being down by 7, you're not going to say that that's a win so far, but I tell you what, they're on their way to changing the culture in the first week.
They're changing the culture. Right.
Already in the first half, I'm sure anybody watching Little Miami has seen a huge difference just in the execution, the way that they're playing. And again, Coach Mahan, he's built it once.
Yep.
It's not like he doesn't know how to do this. He's already done it once.
He's been here once. He's built back up the program, and now he gets that opportunity to do that again.
Follow the same blueprint, stay the course. Little Miami is going to get the ball to start the second half. So this is a chance here again to get your offense on the field. Not a lot of possessions, and I think each team has only had like 3 possessions.
I think 3 each, yes.
Very long possessions. High kick. It's going to be fielded there by Basta. And Basta bounces into his own man and then is wrapped up and tackled there. That is by Christian Gillum.
Here at about the 30 to 31 yard line. So good field position there to start you off here for the Little Miami offense.
All right, let's see which team kind of recoups and sort of goes to the game plan and the drawing board and makes the better reads later on this second half.
We're going to give a shout-out here in the comments section to a fan from Kings that said, what about Kings? We had the Division II up there. We're talking about Edgewood Monroe.
Right.
My apologies. I keep forgetting
Kings
how
is
much
in the area now.
Chris Vogt has stretched out our coverage area. Kings is absolutely in this coverage area. Their win over Sycamore is going to have them on the top of the standings right now with a Division I win. Now, the problem is if Sycamore doesn't win any more games,
that could hurt them.
You're just going to get the 6.5 first-level points. You're not going to get anything in the second level. So you need Sycamore now to get a few wins in the GMC.
Right.
That might be some tough sledding.
That is going to be tough.
This is Basta. And
Basta
breaking his
on his
ankle
feet
to the near sideline, and enough for a first down. Strong run there. Lucas Basta. Interesting strategy, too. Mahan has gone with two different quarterbacks, Basta and Fox.
Love it.
And they're both on the field right now.
I'm going to take a timeout and thank you to Brenda Steger, former Fairfield, recently retired Fairfield softball coach, her and her husband Bill Stewart. Wanted to thank you for the kind words. They're watching at home right now, and they were very impressed with the halftime show.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
That's very kind.
That's all Joel right there.
I was up till 6 in the morning working on it.
Yeah, there you go.
And just adding in my comments.
Finding in highlights on Twitter from 23 different games, including some that affected Jackson out here. So first down run. It's going to be about 3 yards. Yeah, halftime show is kind of where I like to shine. It's fun.
It's your stage.
Well, and what's so interesting, too, Steve Vaughn and I have this conversation with WMOH because he's Mr. Butler County.
Right.
Chris now here. You got this amazing publication, this newspaper of the Report Ohio.
It's not a newspaper.
It's a magazine.
Come on now.
It's got a QR code on it, and fans, I believe it's free. All you got to do is log on. Chris, tell them how to log on and get one.
Yeah, you can go onto our website. We have it plastered everywhere, thereportoh.com. You can go to our Twitter account. We've got it plastered everywhere. Ways to submit for one. You won't be getting it, obviously, before the season starts because we're already in mid-season form.
You might get it before week 2. Fox is going to throw this ball. Trick play. Down the sideline. Got a man. Deflected and incomplete. Intended for Isaiah James. The man on the coverage there was Christian Gillum. James got his hand on that ball.
Yep.
That's the other interesting thing with having two quarterbacks on the field at any given moment in time. You can do things like that.
James had the hand on the ball, and honestly didn't mean to.
Yeah, kind of accidental in a way.
Yeah.
Little deflection, ball bobbled and tipped. But to finish the thought there, well, let's do 3rd and 7 first, then I'll finish the thought here. 3rd and 7, we'll see what Mahan draws up. They hurry up to the line. We'll see if they go ahead and snap it or look over. They're going to look over now. Again, a 4-3 defense for Jackson with an edge rusher on the side there, kind of lurking. That's Charlie Woodard, number 3 there. Kind of lined up against the H-back on the end of the line. And a whistle and a delay of game penalty. Well, again, when you got a new coach, you're trying to install a new system. These things do happen, but an inopportune time for that for sure.
Right. The struggle is real. Not good. That was a big 3rd down for Little Miami. You needed to get that there. You go from 3rd and 7 down to 3rd and 12. This just becomes even more bigger, and hopefully trying to get back some of those yards, but it's going to be tough from how far back they are from getting that first down.
Well, the willingness to throw or lack thereof. This will be an interesting test to see. What does Mahan want to do?
Right.
This is an obvious throwing situation, but I'm sure Jackson knows that too. You're not going to fool them on that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you hand it off and see how much you get and then redeploy? It's a straight quarterback run to Fox. And Fox is going to get about a half the yardage, but Jackson's defense is going to come up with a stop just across midfield.
I think they'll get back to that original line of scrimmage they started with, and yes, they will. They are back to it is 4th and 7, so what is the play call here for Nate Mahan?
The offense is, I think, on the field. Well, 41's their punter, and he's also on the field, so it may not be a change of personnel. We'll see how they line up and how they want to do this.
Find out.
They already showed a fake punt earlier. This is a straight offensive lineup. No punt
They're going to
formation.
go for it. They are going to go for it.
They're either going to go for it or they're at
folks.
least going to hard count it.
I don't know what hard counting's going to do for you there, though.
We're down below 6 on the play clock again.
I
wouldn't even call a timeout.
Take a timeout. Mahan is 3
You're going to take the delay game, probably. Yeah. Why waste the timeout? There's no need for that. You might need it later.
I think they did just take a timeout.
No, the whistle blew.
Oh, it is whistle.
Delay of
Okay.
game. They're going
It
to move
is a
the
delay
ball
game.
5 yards. Yep.
All
Mahomes
right.
was by the official. I saw him. He was thinking about that. Let me just let him throw
It
the
is a
flag.
delay of game. My apologies.
That's it. That's it. So, yes, fans, with Chris and his magazine covering all of Butler and Warren County, with Steve Von Beck at MOH being Mr. Butler County only, their necessity is kind of keep a really, really close eye on all of our coverage area teams as the ball is punted.
Better punt, Joel.
Yeah, good punt, good hang time, and it's going to be Simets
Good coverage.
and not a lot of room. On the opposite, of course, I got to keep my eyes peeled all over the state.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know how you do it, Joel.
we're
I don't
coming,
either.
we're coming into the Jackson press box, and they're wanting to talk about Gallia Academy and their loss to Boyd County, Kentucky last night.
Right.
And obviously that game means something to the people
It
in
does.
Jackson.
It very much
because
so does, yes.
That would be worth some second-level points if Gallia would have won that game and if Jackson can beat them next weekend. You don't want the teams that you beat to all lose. You want the teams that you beat to all win.
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
The better the combined record is of your opponent, the higher you'll be seeded. You get home games that way. You get
Right.
buys that way.
Oh, 100%.
But it involves a lot of extracurricular teams from all over the place. First down and 10, handoff. That's going to be Simons. And I'm very proud also, I would say, of Little Miami's defense and how they're starting to buckle down.
Yeah.
Right.
They looked a little outmatched early, but they're settling in okay.
No, I think it's you didn't want to get spread out on this field. I think Jackson was doing a really good job of spreading them out,
Oh,
which allowed them
100%.
to have those runs up the middle.
Charlie Woodard, by the way, with that last carry for the Ironmen. So second down, they keep rotating their running backs back. They've had at least 3 different running backs back there in the shotgun next to the quarterback, Bodie Wolford, number 5 for Jackson. Second down and 8. And we're once again in the I formation. Double tight end to the left side of the line. Fullback dive up the middle. That has been a really effective play
Yes.
for Jackson today. That's again the fullback number 21, Gavin Seitz. Bunching it up the middle. And a first down and 10 now for Jackson.
I think the mentality here with Jackson with that using the fullback is if they ain't stopping it, let's just keep using it. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I like them using that fullback to gain those yards there and get very big first downs here for the Jackson offense.
There are times you can get a little too creative for your own good.
Right, they are, yes, 100%.
Play callers can get bored at times. This is a pass out of the I formation. Not there. Bodie's going to take it and run, and he's wrapped up there. Little Miami, number 33, that's Daniel DiFrancesco, tracking him down and bringing him down for a 0-yard gain.
Good containment by the defense for
Oh,
Little
yes.
Miami, not to allow a big gain there. Because honestly, if you didn't have that containment right there, that could have been a big gain.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, that was a pass play, but it was run out of that heavy run formation. They were hoping they'd fool Little Miami's defense, and the Little Miami defense was not fooled.
No,
They
were not.
recognized it, and they bid on they made sure that the receiver was covered, and then they had the quarterback running contained. Second down and 8 now. Handoff and nothing.
Not a
Wrapped up.
thing.
Carter Haney meets the running back in the backfield, pumps his fist there looking at his sideline. He knows he made a good play there.
And you can just hear the excitement from next door to us. We're next door again to the Little Miami's coaches, and you could just hear the excitement after they stopped that
Yep.
play there.
Big play. Big third down and 9
Yes.
for the Little Miami defense.
Yes.
Nothing little about that hit from Little Miami.
No,
that's
it
for sure.
is not.
Third down and 9
It's
for
the
Jackson.
Big Miami Panthers.
Big Miami.
Big
Brothers
Miami.
indeed.
There you go. There you go.
That's it. Miami Grande. Bodie Wolford. Third and 9. We'll see him air this ball out a little bit. He's got, the short little pass. Caught underneath. And for a first down, would you look at that. Charlie Woodard just basically ran a 5-yard pattern and just stopped.
Yeah.
And Little Miami was so worried about getting beaten over the top that they gave up the 5-yard pass. And before they could wrap them up and rally to contain, enough for a first down. That's going to be frustrating. for
That
the
does
Panthers.
have to be frustrating, 100%.
You almost got him off the field. You almost got the ball back. The defenses are now exerting a little bit. The first 3 drives of this game, each direction, were all scores. And we've not had a single score since as the defenses of both teams have really settled in. First and 10.
Going for the power.
Toss sweep. Not as powerful as you think there. Woodard going to try to bounce it outside. Met by several Panthers. And once again, Carter Haney, the one getting up from the pile. Playing big on defense for the Panthers. We're down below the 6-minute mark now left to go in the third quarter of play as the clock continues to wind. A much quicker game. Chris, we might be home by midnight.
We might be home.
We might be home sooner from this game than we were from Baden and Hamilton.
Oh, I
last
100%
night.
agree.
We got a 2.5-hour drive.
I was talking to some players on the sideline last night, and I'm like, I feel like the last 2 minutes of this third quarter have lasted like 15 minutes because there is a lot of scoreboard technical difficulties with the scoreboard. Yeah, and cramping.
We've not seen any of that tonight.
No, we have not.
No cramping
That means
at all.
these two programs have their guys in shape.
Yes, exactly.
Second down and 7. There's the seam pass. There it was.
And
Eli Davis, folks.
he's going to be tackled at around the 10.
First and goal. They found that on their opening scoring drive in the first quarter going the opposite direction. They find it again now, slipping Eli Davis right down the seam. First down and goal for Jackson at the 10-yard line. Little Miami's defense is definitely going to need to be able to try to hold them to 3 here.
Yes, you definitely need to in this situation. It's still a close game. You're still in it. You just have to take you got to take it play by play, and this is definitely a chance now where Little Miami could stop them and only force them to get 3. That would definitely be a win in their book.
No receivers at all. Everybody on the offensive line are a straight handoff in the backfield with the I formation. Handoff goes to Cy Metz, and Cy Metz is going to get a little bit of that yardage, a couple yards, maybe 3. It'll be second down and goal from the 7. And it also centers up the ball, which I know it's only second down, but if you intend on passing, it's nice to be centered up so that you're lined up for your field goal. These hash marks can get very wide very quickly as you get bottled up in that red zone. Beautiful night here, by the way.
Yeah,
It is.
I love the trees all around the background.
Right. This is your first trip out here, isn't it?
Yes.
But me and Chris, this are both our first trips out here. It is.
I was
beautiful.
out here for Ross and Jackson a couple years ago. It was a great environment. Toss sweep.
A lot of
Cy
room.
Metz. He's got the pylon, and he's in. Cy Metz to the end zone. Touchdown. Ironmen.
Well, what a response drive on stopping Little Miami's opening drive.
Yep.
Just handling the clock. What a big third down catch is what was what extended that drive.
100%.
For Jackson to continue this one.
Extra point is up and good and over the net and into the parking lot. They've got these nets back behind those cast iron brick gates there, Chris Vogt.
Yeah.
But the nets aren't nearly tall enough for some of the kicking we're seeing in southeastern Ohio.
Now, would you call that a souvenir here in Jackson County?
Would you?
You were not here, Chris. You were downstairs getting a Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you opened up the Mountain Dew cap, were there any second-level points inside the cap?
There were no second level
Oh,
points.
man, that's rough.
Come on.
But we were talking about Ironton and the Ironmen's rival Wheelersburg, who had a 43-8 win over Kip Columbus last night. The kicker, Cooper Heimbach, I believe he's committed to Ohio U, set a school record last night for Wheelersburg, a 51-yard field goal in this game.
Wow.
He then came back onto the field and broke his own record and kicked a 53-yarder in the same game.
Great.
That is
later on.
crazy.
How about it, folks?
You don't see
Ohio
that.
U's going to have that guy as a kicker for a while. Looks like.
Yo, heck yes, they
Go
are.
We're in
Bobcats.
Bobcat country out here, that's for sure.
We are deep in it. You don't see that a lot in high school football.
Oh, no.
You do not.
Oh, no. There's the high kick. That's Basta. And Basta's going to have a lane down the sideline. And
he's
going! He's going! No, we did not. Look at the referees, folks. The referees are all on the spot, blowing the whistle, waving their arms over their head, saying he stepped out of bounds just before midfield. They're all right there. Basta certainly hoped he could stay in bounds, and he darn near did.
Yeah, he darn near did. And man, oh man. Great field position, though, for the Little Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
You have to take advantage of this here, especially in a game where you could get right back into it very easily.
As big as Jackson's offensive line is, with 4 out of 5 starters over 300 pounds. You cannot afford to give them the ball back down by 2 scores and let them start grinding you down.
They have proven to be able to move the ball and move the ball efficiently. This is one of those opportunities where you just cannot give them the ball and you just have to move it down the field and see what you can do.
I'm sure if we rewind this game film at some point in time, based on our camera angle, we're still probably not going to be able to tell if he stepped out of bounds or not, based on all of the tall Jackson players standing on the home sideline. Very closed up environment here. Everybody's kind of on top of the action.
Yeah, right.
Not a bad seat in the house.
No, there is not. No.
Referees have gotten ironed out, whatever. Now they're going to go to the other side then. Guess they're moving the ball over there. Okay. First down and 10. Shall we say from the 51? It's the 49-yard line. I
Little
know.
Miami's 49.
This isn't Tecmo Bowl.
This is not Tecmo Bowl. 51 yards from pay dirt. Fox going to hand it off. A tricky mesh point. But I think it was not a fumble there. I did not see a beanbag getting thrown, but it looked a little bit sloppy and uncertain on the handoff there from Fox to Trapp. But Trapp maintained possession of the ball, carved out a yard. Ball's at midfield.
You're up out at the 50. See if you are able to make a big play here.
Little Miami has not wanted to throw the ball much.
No, I don't think they have thrown the ball much. I think they have. Is it still one?
Do they only have one completion, Chris?
I think it's. Is it still one?
Little Miami has one completion, number 41.
Yeah,
and it is still one completion.
And they've not thrown it a whole lot more than that. It's not like they've had a lot of incompletions. Jet sweep. This is going to be to Isaiah James.
First
break
down.
and contain. And let's see where they spot him. Yep, definitely enough for a first down. Little Miami carving their way down the field, taking advantage of that great field position off of that wonderful kickoff return from Lucas Basta. First and 10.
Continue the drive here. Give Little Miami an opportunity to hack away.
Also interesting is Basta's now going to be the quarterback and Fox is on the bench.
Probably get the next play.
I don't think Basta's thrown the ball yet.
I've seen a lot of old school CYO run a player back in to play.
Right.
But Terry Malone used to use that with an offensive lineman, not the quarterback.
Yeah.
Basta's going to do a direct quarterback sweep using Trapp as his lead blocker. He is absolutely blown up by Ryan Simets, who's playing a little bit two-way there on defense.
But there is a
Jackson.
Flag on the play, though.
This is probably going to be on Little Miami, given the location. And I would imagine Jackson might decline this penalty and take the result of the play.
Right.
It was a negative gain anyway. Wouldn't you take the down?
Right.
But where do they spot the ball? They're looking at each other.
They are going to take the penalty.
They're going to take the penalty and back him up farther, but they're going to give him the down back in doing so. So rather than having like a 3-yard loss and making a 2nd and 13, they're going to go with the 1st and 20 route, daring Little Miami to have to go even farther given they have not been throwing the football much.
This is something you mentioned in the car ride here is Little Miami able to get that 1st and 20 play, and how are they able to execute that?
Well, and not freaking out. You don't need all 20 in one play.
No, you don't. You don't need to freak out. If you're able to gain a chunk of those yards back.
Can you get 7 or 8?
Yes, exactly.
Set you up for a more manageable 2nd and 3rd down situation.
100%.
Trips receivers to the bottom. Jet sweep running Isaiah James. And he's going to go ahead and take the jet sweep. And there's another flag. And this is going to back up the Panthers even farther. And I got to think that if they accepted it on what would have been 2nd and 13 and made it 1st and 20, they're probably going to take another 10 yards here. And
it is holding.
Make it 1st and 30.
Yep, it is holding.
Just keep backing them up, says Coach Hall.
Yep.
And we are going from 1st and 20 to 1st and 30. Or as I like this, or as I've heard
Did they decline the penalty? The referee made the motion that they declined it. And now he's looking at his linesman because everybody else in the officiating crew moved the ball.
Yeah. Looks like he did decline it.
Yep, good call, Joel.
Yeah,
again, first week jitters for the officiating crew as well. They're going to bring the ball right back up where it was. I hope they spotted it correctly
They
in the
did.
first place.
They did.
Right.
They're good.
It was a 0-yard gain.
There we go.
Yeah, gain probably.
They're going to get the
Right.
result of the play then.
Yeah, so they're right back to the line of scrimmage.
Okay,
so
2nd and 20.
2nd and 20.
It's early in the season for the officials too, folks, and as we learned last night at Virgil Schwarm,
Yes.
early in the season for the clock keepers also.
Yeah, so 100%. And again, about 30 seconds there that just felt like 30 seconds, 2 minutes, however you want to put it, that just felt like they would never end.
Clock is dwindling down below 2.5 now in the third quarter of play. Here's a throw for Fox. He's looking up the middle. Well overthrown. He was looking for Basta. 2 men there. Simets, the safety, and the underneath cover guy was Crabtree for Jackson. We're down to 2:20 left now in the third quarter of play. I know, Chris, God bless you. That clock thing is a whole different level of intense, isn't it?
It very much so
Hey,
is.
you know what? Hey, when you don't comment on it, I'll make sure that nobody will notice.
I still remember I was at the
Deal, buddy, deal.
But when you make a comment, people notice.
I know. Deal, buddy. Sorry.
Thanks, Joel.
Sorry, Chris.
I was keeping track of points at the Fairfield Invitational back in December.
Yeah.
And I was trying to keep track of the time and all that. And man, oh man, I respect these people who do that.
Chris and I called a Cincinnati Christian, Middletown Christian basketball game. That was the first time I got to run a clock on that, and it's tough.
Yeah,
it
it's
very
tough.
much so is.
It's tough. Overthrown pass intended for an
right.
outpat into Carter Stewart.
All right, if you're Little Miami, you really got to buckle down on defense because you don't want this to get carried
100%.
away.
No. It's 21-7. You weren't able to convert there. You have to make a stand defensively. And has Jackson punted tonight?
I think they have.
They have
I think
had
they've
him
once.
once.
I think they have.
Once.
That's right. It was
They
the
had
one that
once.
nearly was down in the end zone,
Yes,
but rolled
the one that
just
was
into
in,
the
yes,
end
that
zone.
was their one punt.
That was
Okay.
their one punt.
Other than that, I think Jackson's played a flawless game
They have
offensively.
played a very much flawless game.
Yeah, their
on
offense has
yes.
been very, very solid. And their defense gave up that first touchdown drive, but they buckled up since then. Here's the
And
punt.
Same
from Stewart.
situation.
And out at about 25, 24-yard line? Just about.
And it looks like Jackson's going to have reasonable field position starting this thing out. Not a tremendous punt. I will say, Chris, it's neat seeing these Little Miami colors again. When back in 2010, I would have been a student teacher, and I was assigned to the Little Miami School District.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kathy Walasek, 5th grade, was my mentor teacher out there. And when I got to cover Coach Mahan's Little Miami team the first stint, I recognized some of my old 5th graders that were up there on his roster, the Matthew Glass of the world,
Yeah.
the Cooper Privets of the world, those type of guys.
And
so if any of you are out there listening, Little Miami faithful, know that I still think about you guys from 5th grade year of 2010 every once in a while, and I hope you guys are doing all right.
Oh, nobody's around.
That's the quarterback, Bodie Wolford. And Wolford is wrapped up by Jackson Barnett, but not before he gains enough yardage to move the chains and a first down for the Ironmen. And now they're going to ground this thing out a little bit. High school football, the clock stops and then resumes on the spotting of the first down, and so Jackson can take off now another big chunk of time here.
Yes.
Honestly, when you don't get the first down but keep it in bounds, that's the maximum you can take off. You can get 40 seconds off per play.
Right.
Thinking about this in Madden terms. And Chris, you know me playing Madden.
Oh, yeah. You know me playing Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo. Hard to do that in Tecmo, isn't it? We got
Hard.
a flag. We've not seen many of these in the first half of this game, but
No,
all
we
of a
did
sudden now we're seeing some sloppy technique by the offensive linemen.
There's
Kind
two on
of
the
something
field.
you mentioned about. You mentioned that there, Joel, heading into this third quarter.
Chris, how do you play clock management in Tecmo Bowl?
Run out of bounds.
Okay.
One, so you don't fumble.
Yep, that's true.
It's been one of those things.
Because
you
the clock
can't-
keeps running in Tecmo if you go out of bounds.
No,
right?
it doesn't. It
It's not?
doesn't. But
And it is a holding call
here's the
against
thing.
Jackson.
I mean, if you run out of bounds because you don't want to fumble, that's why. You
Right.
don't want to give up that
right.
8-bit fumble. Like it's just
The
it's
8-bit
so
fumble where everyone's
it's
mashing
so
the buttons
random.
down as you're touching each other.
So random.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's funny. The way you play offense is against your opponent. That if whether or not you know how well they play defense,
Right.
like it's so wild. It's like a chess match.
It is.
It's hard to explain.
First down and 20 for Jackson, and they're going to throw it. Slant pattern.
Oh.
Got him. He's loose. And it's going to be wrapped up, but for a first down, that is Charlie Woodard running the little slant, and that was a perfect throw for the senior quarterback, Bodie Wolford. Wolford to Woodard, first down, Ironmen.
Huge play.
And very much so, yes.
And now Jackson within striking distance. They're 30 yards away. They only got a minute left to milk off the third quarter. They could run one more play and then take this thing to the fourth, potentially.
Yep. I think that's what they're going to do.
We'll see if they let the play clock drift all the way down, and they'd be able to do it. Snap with 47 seconds left. Handoff up the middle, depending on how quickly the ball gets spotted. And it looks like, yes, they will be able to do that.
And they are going to do that.
If they do not want to run another play, they will not have to. There ain't nothing Little Miami can do about it other than take a timeout if they want to, and you wouldn't want to in this situation.
Yeah,
You're going to
Joel,
need it for the fourth quarter.
I wouldn't see Jackson doing a lot of passing from here on out, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
you're up 2 scores.
You got that beefy line, right?
Right.
Yep.
You have the beefy line, you're up 2 scores, and this is probably a position where you're probably comfortable.
I wonder if you almost do a fourth and flinch situation of a hard snap and just see if you can draw them off sides here for 5 free yards.
Yes.
That's exactly what this looks like. They ain't snapping this ball.
No, they are not, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter.
Not at all. And so at the end of the third quarter, Little Miami, give them credit. They're hanging tough against a quality opponent. But the Jackson Ironmen take a 14-point lead to the other side of the field.
No, not him. I'm talking about my bank.
Want more from your checking account than a one-time bonus? Good news! You've got better options. Open a Simply Free checking account at General Electric Credit Union and earn up to $350 every year with Roundup. You'll earn rewards on everyday debit card purchases and automatically add to your savings. Now that's better than a one-time bonus. Don't be thrown off by our name. Anyone in the tri-state can bank here. General Electric Credit Union. Bank with us.
And we're back at the start of the fourth quarter at Alumni Stadium here in Jackson, Ohio. 2nd down and 5 for Jackson. Going the opposite way, and a handoff to the fullback. That's Gavin Seitz. Seitz is going to gain a couple of yards and take 40 seconds off the clock while doing it.
Yep. Yes. This is you're in that point of the game now where it's just you got a comfortable lead. You're probably more likely than not. You probably could get to 28 if you do things correctly. Just run the clock. Waste time. Don't let the ball get back into Nate Mahan and Little Miami's hands, and just run that clock and get. Just basically the mentality is let's get out of here and go home.
Yep.
Well, right now you're up by 2 scores.
Yep.
You could be up by 3 depending on the outcome of this drive.
Right.
And if Little Miami doesn't get the ball back 3 more times,
right,
that's kind of academic. Now
it's I mean, it was crazy enough to see each team just have 3 drives in the first half.
Bodie's going to keep it. He needs to slide here. There's a flag. This is going to come back, so it will not matter.
Right. And speaking of Little Miami, they have a good quiz team. So again, a lot of the people who go through Little Miami.
Smart guys.
They are very smart.
Smart people.
Yes, they are very smart.
Always helps to have smart players, isn't that right,
yes.
Coach Mahan?
Oh, heck, yes.
This is going to be brought back. This is not a challenging academic decision at all for Little Miami. We're taking the penalty, they say.
It is going.
A little clock management 101 here. I would love, if I were Jackson's coaching staff, to see Bodie Wolford slide in bounds at the end of that play rather than run it out of bounds and stop the clock in this situation. Not that it will end up mattering.
No, it probably won't.
The penalty
will
move them back anyway. But the clock will wind as we're now down below 11.
This penalty right here could make or break whether or not Little Miami will have a chance to actually make something of this if they do not score.
Make something of this game. And
3rd down and 13. And a play action. Free rusher. Looking long. It's overthrown into the end zone. The closest man to it was actually Lincoln Engelhardt, the defensive back for Little Miami. Now, you're 4th and 13.
You might as well go for it, Joel.
This would be a 50-yard field goal from here if you trust your kicker.
I'm going for it.
I know you're Southeastern Ohio, so it seems like these kickers have like steroid legs out here. Do you want to kick from that far away? Now, here's the other thing, too, about a kick. A place kick in high school football is a punt.
Yep.
It's a punt that can score you 3 points potentially. If it goes into the end zone and you miss the kick, it's a touchback.
Right.
You're actually going to still gain 13 yards on this.
Right.
You could also go for this. If you think you're kind of in no man's land, like a touchback would only get you 13 yards, you might as well try to throw it with your senior quarterback. We have 5 wide receivers set here for Bodie.
Well, it does look like they are going to throw it.
Bodie Wolford is going to go ahead and take his drop. He's going to scramble outside. He's going to throw it to the sticks. I think he caught it.
I think he did too.
Referee has not made a motion yet. They're all trying to sell him on it. And it looks like he is still not signaled anything yet. What do we got?
That looked pretty good to me.
That did.
They call it incomplete, out of bounds.
Wow. What a call.
That is the slowest ever call on a catch, no catch that I think I've ever seen.
That was a pretty slow call. But this is a perfect opportunity for Little Miami to be able, you can drive, if you are quick enough, drive down the field, try to score, kick it back off, try to get the ball back from Jackson, and potentially tie this game up. You still have plenty of time. There's 10 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock.
The opportunity is there, Vince. You're right.
Yes.
The opportunity is absolutely there.
My input on that is maybe his body, when he was trying to catch it, maybe his hip was on the line. I don't know, but it looked pretty good from up here.
I couldn't really tell from up here, right.
Well, the only thing I want to say is this. The side judge very clearly did not see it at all.
No.
He made no motion.
He was waiting for somebody else to.
He was waiting for anybody to help him. It's almost like he had a mind blank there. So I have no idea, no matter what they called it, if I trust it or not. But Little Miami's going to go ahead and take possession here, and it's going to be Basta at quarterback. He's going to get about 2 or 3 yards. Here's the challenge with Little Miami, though. Given how much of their offense relies on the running game, you don't have time to take 8 minutes off the clock to make this thing a one-score game.
No, you absolutely don't. No.
Time is of the essence, and I know you don't want to throw.
When somebody calls a timeout, the scoreboard operator here is going to realize that there are 3 timeouts for each program.
The scoreboards both say 1 and 0 for the timeouts, and that's from the first half still. Easily forgotten also. I've done that on our graphics too, Chris.
Yep.
Forgot to put the timeouts back up
I was on it.
You were on top of that. Yes, sir. Hand off. That is to Trapp.
Trapp got hit behind the line of scrimmage, but was able to lean forward and maul his way for an extra couple yards.
And also, too, one thing I've noticed is the referees haven't said anything about the scoreboard being wrong either. Those officials last night at the Hamilton game.
They were very aware.
They were very aware and very on for the scoreboard operator to get those timeouts
are
right.
Left? They actually stopped the game multiple times.
Right, 100%.
When it was done incorrectly.
And these officials here tonight have not said a word, haven't batted an eyelash. So
I guess as long as the clock's good, they're cool with it.
Yep, exactly.
You can hear the Jackson fans below are doing the cowbell and the stomping on the metal bleachers thing right below us.
You could probably feel it on your viewing device back home.
Only about 118 steps to get up to this press box.
Basta's
going to take it around. He's going to go through speed.
He slips through.
I'd say he bounced off a tackle, but it was the same guy that tackled him, but he kind of bumper cart that a few times until he ended up down. 1st and 10 for Little Miami. The drive continues.
You got to do what it takes.
And now we have our first cramp. It took us 3 quarters to finally get there, but we got our first injury now. It's been a surprisingly injury-free game, and that's a good thing.
That is always a good thing, 100%.
Well, it makes the difference between us being home at a certain time and us still being here at a certain time.
Right, just like last night.
And ask Coach Yordy from Baden, it makes a difference between certain players being available next week and not available next week.
Right.
Yeah,
Have you heard anything else about Declan Brown?
Yeah, I think they were going to look at him this morning. Gosh, God love the Brown family. They were really excited about Declan enjoying his senior year this year. And so we'll see. I don't know. I know there's some ACL, MCL, and tear talk, but we're not gonna disclose that yet. But we'll see. He was on the trainer's table the entire game.
And it was only like the third offensive play from scrimmage.
The entire game.
On a running play.
Yep.
A running play that lost like 10 yards or so.
Oh, there is something that just flew in here.
There we go.
It might have hit your camera.
Yeah.
That might be a scout from one of the other Frontier Athletic Conference teams. It's going to fly back to Chillicothe after this game.
Or maybe it's one of those scouts from the ECC.
There you go. Right.
There you go.
Flew away.
Hey, it took a long time to get here. It's a 2.5-hour bus ride. How long of a flight is that by moth?
Right. Exactly.
I wonder what that looks like on Google Maps.
It is flowing out of here, and there's another completed pass.
Is that the second?
Pitch
That's
and catch
big
to
number
Isaiah
2
James. Pitch and catch to Isaiah James. And a little extracurricular. I was going to say, I hear Little Miami's coaching staff next door. Get off him, don't say anything.
Right.
They're right on the money on that.
Yeah, they are. Again, this isn't a rivalry game. You're traveled 2 hours out here, and probably the first time in both of these programs' history.
Well, you don't want to have a game decided on something that you did stupid.
No, yeah, 100%.
When you just drove 2 hours to figure out what was going to happen today.
Right, exactly, 100%.
And you also want to be in good shape mentally for your next 9 conference games as well.
There we go.
Like the GMC, the Eastern Cincinnati Conference has a 9-game conference schedule, and so it is very important for Little Miami to get as many conference or many wins for the ECC as possible.
Yeah, Little Miami was not ready for that play.
No, they were not.
Chris thinking out loud here for the Eastern Cincinnati Conference and how they all did in games this weekend. The ECC has 10 teams, and we don't have a final score yet for Little Miami, but you'd want as many teams as possible to win. They have fared better than the GMC
they sure did.
They have. 100%.
Anderson has won. Kings has won. Lebanon has won. Walnut Hills. God bless Walnut Hills. They've been the doormat of this league for a long time, but they played Western Hills. It's a Division I opponent. They get a win. So now if Walnut Hills loses to everybody the rest of the way, it will simply be a gift of 6.5 points to everybody else in their conference.
Right. Yep.
Even that is very, very helpful.
Walnut Hills,
Claremont gets a win, and Whitten Woods with a big win over Springfield. Only 3 teams in the conference, Loveland, Milford, and Turpin, end up on the short end of the stick. A very strong weekend, at least 6-4, and if Little Miami can come back, 7-3 for the conference for the weekend. That's going to help them out tremendously when they get into conference schedule for how strong and how valuable those conference games are going to be worth. Fox,
good call.
Take this up. Break a couple of tackles.
Boom.
And again, not as big of a deal for the Frontier Athletic Conference. Obviously, you want all your guys to win 2.
Right.
Chillicothe did not. McLean did. Washington Courthouse did not. Miami Trace did. And I forget who the other team is in that conference. Isn't that awful? I should know this. Rough.
Yeah.
1st and 10. I'm trying to do this off of memory here.
Remember, we were sitting there trying to figure out how many teams we named. We named them all already.
Jackson, Chillicothe, Miami Trace, Washington Courthouse, McLean.
You already named them once.
I named those 5, yep. Pass intended. That is intended for Stewart and incomplete. Lease pauses the clock as we go. Hillsboro, that's the other one.
Hillsboro,
and
there
Hillsboro
you go.
got the win over Western Brown
on
the triple option 53-yard run. Yep.
Gotta love that triple option.
That can't be right. Aiken could not have played Gamble because Gamble Montessori played New Miami today. Aiken was playing today, but they weren't playing Gamble.
Isn't there another Montessori? Like Clark
Montessori. That might be it.
That might be right, yes.
We had an update on Twitter, but they had the wrong Montessori there for Aiken. Handoff goes to Isaiah James. And James going to get some good yardage there as we drift down below 8 minutes on the clock. And yes, it was Clark Montessori that Aiken beat 40-0 earlier today. Man, it must be. I've never been a Cincinnati Public Schools guy, CMAC, but my goodness, could you imagine being the announcer at Stargell Stadium?
Whew.
You're going to get a game every Thursday night. You might get 2 games on Friday if they put one early and one late.
2 or 3 on Saturday.
2 or 3 on Saturday every weekend. Dayton Welcome Stadium, the same thing for the Dayton Public Schools. Third down. And there's no room for Basta there at all. Jackson, Charlie Woodard, Christian Gillum, wrapping him up.
I also think, too, the situation with Welcome Stadium is a little more interesting, too, because along with those 6 Dayton public schools playing there, you also have the University of Dayton, the Flyers.
That's true. You get a college team playing up there, too.
Right. I still remember I went up to a Dayton game a couple of years back. They were playing Stetson. My dad, University of Dayton graduate.
Stetson Hatters?
Yes, the Stetson.
From DeLand, Florida.
Yes.
Well done. Atlantic Sun Conference.
Yes. And they played up there, and man, oh, man.
Joel, this is the game.
Yeah, this is a game play call.
4th and 5.
I think we're going to see a timeout possibly. Nope.
They're going to need those timeouts,
Yeah,
though,
you're
if
right.
they score here to get the ball back.
Right. They're going to
Fox
throw.
is going to try to throw. Quick out.
Another
Caught
completion.
And out of bounds. Beautiful play call.
I like it.
That's to number 41, Carter Stewart. That is the favorite receiver.
Yep. And I tell you what, the
Camden
way he
Fox.
catches the ball, he's almost a sure-handed receiver, the way he just tucks it in and grabs it.
I like how he didn't
Good
try
play.
to do too much with that.
Yes.
You need a 4th down conversion. You must catch the ball.
Right.
And then his next thought was, can I get out of bounds to stop the clock?
Right.
That's really, really intelligent football. Quick pass from quarterback to other quarterback.
Love it.
That's going to be Lucas Basta.
The
catching it.
QB,
He's got a first down.
connection.
They're now in the red zone. The clock will pause momentarily while they reset the chains.
Get up and line up.
Got to line up. Got to hurry up. They're used to no idling it, but
tick, 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 tick,
can't
tick,
take
tick.
too much time off. They're down to 6:40 and counting. 1st and 10. Panthers, 14-yard line. Handoff. Goes to Trap. That might be enough for a first down. It's going to be close. If it is a first down, it'll pause the clock. If it's not, the clock will continue to run.
They're going to give it to him.
They might measure this.
Yep. They got it.
timeout.
Nope, they went ahead and spotted it.
First down.
First down, the clock pauses, but now it winds again because you don't need to reset the chain because it's now end goal. By the time Little Miami snaps this ball, we'll be under 6 minutes left to go. The Panthers still have a chance at this game, folks.
This
ain't over yet.
No, it is not. No, it is not. And I think these Little Miami coordinators next door know that as well as we do.
They sense there's a chance. You're saying there's a chance. Fox going to try to run it himself.
And he's
To
in.
the end zone. Looking for the
Yes, he
signal.
is!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Camden Fox from 4 yards out. Now, conventional NFL modern-day analytics wisdom says you go for 2 here.
Ooh.
But they got the kicker out here. They're going to go ahead and try to poke the
Agreed.
1 in.
You don't really see that a lot in high school football.
You see
where
it a lot in the NFL, though.
A lot in the NFL.
Down by
not a lot at
14,
the high
go for
school
2
level.
to try to make it 6, and then you can win it on the next possession.
Right.
Very important extra point with Fox with the hold. High snap. He gets it down.
And it is good.
It is good.
Wow, guys. Well,
It's through.
and
For
Joel,
Kate
like
White.
you had said, we still got our 2 timeouts for Little Miami.
Yep.
Yep.
This game is not over yet.
Yep.
And Jackson's offense
Big
better
drive.
not take their foot off the gas.
No,
Because they're
going
to need, if not a score, then at least to grind the last 6 minutes off. Either one will be acceptable to Coach Andy Halls.
grind the last 6 minutes off the clock. And if you get in the field goal range, take the field goal. Make this a 2-possession game.
That would bury Little Miami if they could do it.
Yes.
Little Miami's defense, you have a chance. It's not been easy all game, but you've had some success. If you can get the ball back to your offense one more time, and then herein lies the other question. If you're down by 7 and get the ball back late and you score,
Right.
do you go for 2?
Right. Do you, exactly.
Valley View tried that.
You drove here 2 hours.
Yeah, you drove
I'm giving you
2
the answer right
hours.
there.
Valley View tried that against Coldwater last night in overtime. Coldwater scored. It was only a 3-second highlight at the end of our montage. I was sad I didn't have a play before that, but Coldwater's AD didn't post anything else other than that one
Right,
play.
exactly.
Valley View
That's
went
all
for,
you needed.
Valley View went for 2.
There you go. That's all. That
It
is
was
all
a
you need.
49-48 game, and that was the
Wow.
only highlight that showed up on Twitter from that game. Onside kick. And recovered. Slide, Coach Mahan. I see what you're doing there.
I'm
like
okay
it.
with it.
I like it.
I like the
it
call.
a lot.
Give it a chance to try, and you nearly got a happy bounce there. And
I mean, if both Jackson players were going to fight after that ball, that could have been different.
Hunter Long ended up coming up with that cleanly, and his teammate actually didn't grab the ball, grabbed Long and kind of dragged him down to the ground himself.
Right. Prevent him from
let's make sure
getting
we
hit.
have this thing.
This guy's not getting hit. They're going to hit me.
Let's make sure we have the ball. We're not making any dumb mistakes here.
I like it.
I do too.
Didn't work. Good idea.
That is a good
I
idea.
appreciate that play.
1st and 10. I mean, field position isn't all that important right now. The matter for the Little Miami Panthers is can you stop them or not?
Right.
And Jackson's going to line up in a power formation with 3 tight ends, a fullback, and a I formation tailback. And they're going to try to throw off of it. Roll out opposite the quarterback's body. Nothing there. But he's going to go out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. Bodie Wolford went out of bounds.
What are you? Oh.
That's like throwing an incomplete pass but getting 3 yards from it. Wow.
That is exactly what Little Miami
Little
needs.
Miami loves it. You just gave him 40 more seconds,
Yeah,
guys.
you just gave 40 more seconds to stop the clock. Now you have yourself a better chance to drive, if they get the ball back, to drive down the field and score this thing and make this a lot more interesting game.
That was a very interesting play call, bringing 3 tight ends, a fullback, and then rolling with no receiver to the opposite side. Yeah. Naked bootleg. Same formation. Small T, or I formation, I should say. Small I. Handoff up the middle. There we go.
He didn't get
That's
any.
Ryan Simets.
Nope.
Jackson doesn't need to get it.
No, they do
3rd
not.
and inches is your friend when you're playing Joel Ball and Matt.
Absolutely.
It is.
It's actually better for Jackson if you're short by a hair.
You get an extra
40 seconds off
40
the clock.
seconds.
And that can make up for the running out of bounds from the previous play is really what that does. We're going to be down below 5 minutes now left on the clock before Jackson snaps this ball.
Hey, Joel, do you bring all 8 in the box?
For Little Miami?
Yeah.
I might sell out and go 11 and dare him to throw it.
Right.
I mean, the offensive line you're going against is all 300 pounds.
I'm bringing them all.
And you need to
if you're
get a stop.
I'm bringing them all.
You have to get a stop. The
Here
linebackers are trying to go up
Here
the
they
middle.
come.
Fullback dive. He didn't get much.
He did,
but he didn't need much. And he's got the first down, and his forward progress was definitely out there. Mahan does not love the spot, but it was definitely a first down.
You better get back. Yeah. You don't want to get flagged on this one.
No, you do not. A flag.
Hey, where are you at to pull Mahan back? You got to pull
That's
all
why
the
he
cuts.
needs you.
Right.
The referees are actually going to stop this for a measurement, which is really surprising because I would think you would absolutely know based on where you put the ball.
Right.
I mean, you started this drive on a exact yard line. The ball is right now on the exact yard line.
Yeah.
Unless it's a timeout and not a measurement, I don't know what we're doing here.
Right.
Both teams are back to the benches now.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're going to bring him over. Wow.
Yep, they are.
Here's the thing. I thought he clearly got further than that.
Yeah, I clearly thought he got a
spot.
So this is a Little Miami spot right here.
I think he got about halfway from the 46 to the 45 before he actually got wrangled, and then he was pushed backward by Little Miami's defensive line. They did a stellar job trying to stop that. But again, I'm curious as to why we're doing a measurement when you started on an exact yard line and the ball is now on the next yard line. You should already know, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
If the chain is exactly 10 yards long, you should already know.
Yep.
So right now we're just measuring whether the sticks are actually 10 yards or not is all we're really doing. Putting it down. Let's see what we got. And lo and behold, the chain reaches exactly the yard line where the nose of the ball is.
Yeah.
Why did we need to bring the chains out for that, Chris?
Well, I mean, just for confirmation.
I get it if you started the drive on a partial yard line. That makes sense to me.
Right.
If you started the drive out at an exact yard line.
Right. The drive. It started.
What are we doing here?
I don't get it.
That had to have been by a nose. I tell you that.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right.
You started the drive. The nose of the ball was touching the 44. Now the nose of the ball is touching the 46 on the other side.
Confirmation, Joel.
It's exactly a 10-yard chain. That's all we figured out there, folks. 1st and 10. For the Jackson
Chains might be
Ironmen.
different out here in Jackson County.
That's true. They might be using the metric system.
Right.
Fumble! On the ground! Oh, my goodness. Wow.
If you're Mahan, you call timeout right here?
I'm tempted to save him and see what happens on second down. Bodie Wolford nearly totally changed the complexion of this game. That ball slipped right out of his hand.
And unfortunately, that's what happens on
fell on
certain
it, though.
read
Right.
option plays.
That's exactly what does happen.
He fell on top of the ball, though. And once again, that man again for Little Miami, Carter Haney, was there, Johnny on the spot, trying.
He sniffed it.
He just about had that ball.
Half a second too late.
Oh, he just about had it. 2nd and 12 for the Ironmen. Down below 4 minutes left to go in this titanic struggle. Handoff up the middle. That's the fullback Seitz. And Gavin Seitz is brought down for a minimal gain. Little Miami's defense has given them a chance to stop this.
Call a timeout here.
If you're going to call it, do it right away.
Right.
Or not at all.
Right.
Mahan has decided not at all. They're going to see what happens on third down, save their last 2 timeouts for either the next set of downs if Jackson converts, or for maybe after this play
Fourth
and
down.
1 more on offense. Little Miami is basically get 1 more offensive possession at this, but only if their defense can come up with 1 more really big play here. And give all the credit in the world to the Panthers for their fight.
Yeah,
you
huge.
do. You have to.
This has been an
100%.
unbelievably good effort, no matter what happens. Bodie Wolford's going to try to throw this thing. Got a receiver. It's caught. He's short, breaks 2 tackles, and now he's out of bounds, really close to the sticks. What an effort.
What an effort. Wow.
Ashton Seymour, who's not touched the ball yet today, and that extra effort is going to be an 11-yard gain and first down for the Ironmen.
Wow.
Wow, what an effort. What an effort there by that young man.
Ashton Seymour getting Jackson's offense out of the trap. Now, the game is not over. Little Miami has 2 timeouts, and because the tackle was made out of bounds, this also counts as a clock stoppage. It will be 1st and 10. This is basically the last opportunity for Little Miami's defense to be able to get Jackson's offense off the field and give it back. If you're Jackson, you don't want to fumble, you don't want to turnover here.
Timeout.
And there is a timeout taken right before the delay of game. All right, Vince, what are you seeing?
I mean, that was a massive first down by Jackson there to come there for about 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, be able to get that. And now you have a chance to potentially, Jackson has a chance to ice this game. Little Miami needs to be careful with their timeouts and how they use them. Right now, it is 1st and 10. Again, if your defense is able to step up in a moment like this and get the stop, that's going to be big. Anyway, Jackson could ice this game. If they get one or 2 more first downs, that's probably going to be it for Little Miami. But you're in a situation right now where if you could get this stop, that is going to be absolutely huge for Little Miami's momentum.
I'll tell you exactly what I'm saying if I am in the Jackson huddle right now. No holding penalty.
Yeah.
No fumbles.
Right. Don't make any mistakes. Don't do anything stupid.
In bounds on this run. And get me exactly 9 yards if you can.
Right.
With Little Miami with 2 timeouts left, you don't want to pick up a first down on this play and then still give Little Miami another chance to stop you.
Here it is.
1st and 10. 1 receiver only. Handoff to Simets. Up the middle. Wrapped up by the interior of the Panther defensive line. Mahan's running onto the field to get his timeout because the lineman is way in bounds and not by the sideline. I don't think I've ever seen a lineman that far in bounds. He was inside the numbers as his other officials were spotting the ball. Mahan had to run a long way. It's a good thing he's so young, right?
Talk about that, Joel. He's probably talking to the head ref about that.
That guy ought to be over by the sideline.
That's right. 4 seconds.
It's interesting, too, because as a referee, now I've refereed enough basketball to know there are certain times you know the coach is probably going to want a timeout, so you're already kind of looking over there as the ball's going through the hoop. I find it really interesting that the linesmen, they're talking about this right now. Can you zoom in on that conversation there, Vince? Yeah, they're talking about this right now. Why is the linesman all the way past the numbers? Coach Mahan should not have to run 15-yard sprints to get a timeout. It should be obvious what we're doing here, folks.
It 100%
and the linesman should be right there by that stick because you know that coach has got to be in your ear.
Head ref is giving him head ref might be talking to him about it.
Mechanics, folks. This is all about mechanics. When I complain about officials in my basketball games, it's not about whether that was or was not a foul or was not a travel. It's the mechanics that are sloppy that are really frustrating. And that was one, too. Look at the referee now by the sideline at the top of the screen. Now he's down by the stick where he should be.
Right.
And we'll see if Mahan's got a guy close by. Another timeout for Jackson now.
Coach
as the plot continues to thicken.
Right.
Mahan is still talking to the head official.
He's
maybe wanting a couple more seconds added to the clock. I don't know. I'd understand why he'd be asking for that. That makes all the sense in the world. But you got to have your side.
Hey, he's they're laughing. It'd be nice to have Mahan mic'd up.
That would be
awesome.
Get Big Harry.
That would be awesome.
I considered micing up Mahan during pregame, kind of get his.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would have been fun.
Get his amped up and
that would be so fun.
Get his feel.
Fun. Yes, get his
all
feel.
the feels.
Mahan is a young coach still. He's probably my age, but he acts younger in terms of the way that he looks and the energy and the enthusiasm that he presents himself. And definitely he's got his team fired up tonight.
Yeah,
this is a 1-10 team on the road playing a powerhouse.
Right.
And
a Southeastern Ohio powerhouse.
They have come to play.
Right.
They're ringing the bell. They're ready to go. Now let's watch the sideline mechanic here as the official toward the top starts wandering over toward the sideline. He's got to get all the way to the stick, and we'll see if Coach Mahan in the yellow shirt maybe wanders his way over toward the line of scrimmage at the conclusion of this play to get his timeout. Jet sweep coming. It is a handoff going wide side. He needs to go down inbounds. Little Miami was able to get him out of bounds.
Wow.
Look at that. And Coach Mahan is not going to burn a timeout.
He's going to the head ref now.
He's going. Yeah, he's not even bothering with the line judge. That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious.
Just classic Nate Mahan there for you, ladies and gentlemen.
3rd down and 7, and what a colossal mistake for Jackson to run that out of bounds. That's coming out of a timeout.
That is.
You would think you'd be telling your team that, right?
Right.
Yep. That's the one thing you got to do. Put that knee in bounds.
Now, Little Miami doesn't have to use that final timeout.
Jackson has given Little Miami like 3 or 4 extra timeouts in this.
They 100% have.
Now it's a passing play. Wolford is going to get sacked.
Now you call the timeout.
That's when you call the timeout. Mahan's running over there.
I think he hugged him.
He wanted to make sure he got that timeout, and he got it quick.
And again, I'm amazed still looking at that side judge. He still appeared to be a little confused as to why he was surrounded by coaching. Don't you know he's got a timeout?
Right. Don't you look up at the score?
You should have your eyes already back for the man in the yellow shirt coming towards
you.
The
situation of officiating from yesterday's Hamilton-Baden game.
What are we doing?
Tonight? What are you doing? What are you doing? That's right.
Joe Idle, if you're watching us live right now, help us out. What are we doing? 4th down for Jackson. Little Miami out of timeouts. Ball is spotted at the 33-yard line. Options. You could punt.
I think Nate Mahan got a nice little fade before the game, too.
Option. You can go for it, put it on the arm of your quarterback. One play wins the game, knowing you're still not giving up horrible field position. Or you could try the long field goal if you trust your kicker. He's got a leg. It'd be 50 yards out. It'd be a touchback if he's short.
It looks like they're going to go for it.
Offense is on the field.
Defense needs to step up
One
here.
play for all the marbles. Here comes the snap.
Looks to throw. He's going to throw.
Hook and ladder. Nope. Breaks the tackle. Second tackle, and he's going to be short.
Did he?
By a yard.
Short.
He's going to be short by a yard.
Wow.
That looked. Eli Ray made that catch. That looked like the setup of a hook and ladder.
Right, yes.
But he didn't pitch it.
No, he did not.
He kept it. He broke about 2 tackles, but he needed to break one more. And Little Miami is going to get the ball back to their offense with 2:10 remaining.
There is a lot of excitement from the gentleman next door. They are excited to get one more chance with this football here, ladies and gentlemen. What a play by Little Miami. And there you got 1st and 10 at about the 27-yard line.
It's going to be 73 yards, Joel.
Yep.
All right,
and
here we go on the arm of Camden Fox. Every pass play in the playbook is now up for grabs. Fake sluggo, looking long, got a man! Oh!
So close!
That was a pump and go, and they've been setting that up all game. And the coaching staff knew it. The coaching staff knew it.
Yes, they did. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
I'm looking at about 15 radio broadcasters and coaches in this press box, and I'm thinking about ancient Rome. Are you not entertained?
Yes. Are you not entertained?
Oh, my goodness. 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers. Out of timeouts. Camden Fox in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Stewart is at the bottom. That's his favorite receiver, but there's 2 defensive backs on Stewart. This is probably going to the top side. They're double covering Stewart, and they're looking for a pick. And they're lucky it wasn't one there.
2 minutes, 1 second, 3rd and 10.
They almost didn't get the
big.
ball snapped in time.
Eli Ray, the wide receiver that nearly broke the last tackle for Jackson, was the one undercutting that. There's double coverage on only one receiver there.
Yes.
Jackson is basically saying that number 41, Carter Stewart, is not going to be the one to beat them.
That's the threat.
Anything you're going to do with a trips formation to the top of the screen has to work those 3 receivers up there because the bottom is not going to be open. They're bracketing.
And you can see this camera shaking. The Jackson crowd here is getting pumped up for their defense. And man, oh man, this is a big 3rd down for them.
They're looking again for Stewart. That's a catch. Wrapped up, hit. Wrapped up a 2nd time. Tackled inbounds, and
he may have gotten the
here's
first
the
down.
question.
He may have gotten it.
I think he got the 1st down, which pauses the clock.
They got it
first.
Now they got to get on the line of scrimmage. They're used to no huddling fast. That's good.
That is good.
That helps.
Now, can you get the play call
It's a
down?
slow no huddle normally. It's going to be faster now.
Right.
Clock is winding at 1:40 and counting. Quick pass out to the side. That's
Breaks the tackle. Gets away from another.
Bada breaks a couple tackles. He's
That's
out to
a first
midfield.
down. That is
Across
a
midfield.
first down
The clock will pop again.
for the Panthers.
1:31 remaining here in Jackson, Ohio. And they're going to spot this ball, it looks like, at the 49-yard line. The clock is not running yet because the sticks are not set up. Now the clock is going to wind.
You had to have that call in by now.
Right.
What's going on here?
Little Miami does not have a timeout. They don't have a timeout, so they couldn't have called one. This might be a sideline warning.
Side warning. Hey, don't leave your playbook out there.
Yeah, don't leave your playbook out there. That's right. Clock now winds again. Not yet. Okay, we're not winding yet. Do we have a chain malfunction? We're trying to stretch this thing out. There might be a knot in the chain over there. Now they've got it stretched out to 10 yards in duration. Mahana's talking to his new best friend, the side judge. Those two are going to exchange Christmas cards after this 4th quarter.
Oh, you bet they will.
Mahan's going to take advantage of the fact that he's on the field to get a quick little word out to Fox, the quarterback. Why not? You're already out there.
Right, you're already out there. You might as well. The clock's not moving. They're
Clock is
figuring out what
paused.
the
It's
issue
going to wind.
is.
You better get to the line of scrimmage because they're going to wind this clock here in a second.
Right.
And now we're winding. Below 1:19 and counting. 49 yards to go for Little Miami to tie or potentially win if they opt to do that. Great block. Down the field. Stewart and double cover.
Oh my God!
Complete.
It's picked off!
The back judge. The back judge called it incomplete. The umpire called it a pick. Heck of a ball. C.J. Crabtree. They got to talk about this.
They are.
The back judge waved incomplete right away. The umpire then came back there and made a hand signal that it was a completed pass. Crabtree basically was parallel to the ground and reached out with one hand to try to snag it into his body. I thought he might have picked it, but the back judge called it incomplete immediately. Mahan is letting the officials have it, and there's a 15-yard penalty, which I'm going to guess that probably means that they're going to stick with the call of a interception. Wow.
What a catch.
C.J. Crabtree saves the day for the Jackson Ironmen. But again, officiating not on the same page. 2 very different calls from 2 very different angles, and I don't know that they hardly talk to each other about that.
I don't think they have.
Unsportsmanlike on Little Miami. And then a second unsportsmanlike on Little Miami. That's going to be 30 yards with the penalty.
It's Jackson football. It is Jackson football. That is what they have called.
The interception will
What
stand.
a play.
Unbelievable effort for Jackson C.J. Crabtree on that play.
What a play.
A tip ball into double coverage. Stewart did get his hand on it for a second.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
he
of
did.
course, still all in all, I know it's going to sting that you're walking out of here with a loss for Little Miami, but what a great effort for the Panthers.
It is a great
This does
effort.
not look like a team that won 1-10 last year.
Yeah.
No, it does not. No.
1-10 teams don't just come out here to Jackson and give the Ironmen everything that they have to offer.
Right.
Joel, I'm going to say this. It took all 48 minutes of football for Jackson to
100%.
win this game.
100%.
Oh, yeah. This will just be a straight victory formation
Yep.
now, and Jackson will probably be more thankful than anything else to walk away with the W here.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
But Jackson also hopeful that Little Miami might improve that record to give them some points.
Right. Give him that
Playoff
second level
points.
points. Right.
6.5, 6.5.
Right.
That's it.
And now you're in a region where you're with teams like Baden and Alter now competing against them.
That's right. I wonder how much Jackson fans know about Baden and Alter.
Right.
I know they know Ross.
And there's a flag. There's a
And we got a
flag.
delay a game penalty potentially.
I think that's
This has
what it is.
the mechanics of this last 5 minutes have gotten really sloppy.
Yes, it very much so
Really
has.
sloppy.
That was a 7-7 half, guys.
That was a 7.5. You were right.
My word.
My goodness gracious. The Little Miami coaches next door to us are getting out of here. They know.
Man, what an effort, though.
That
What
is
an
the last
effort.
nail in the coffin. And now they are going to let this clock run.
Oh, yeah. This is victory formation. Little Miami is going to have a 2.5-hour bus ride home. And if it's win at all costs or nothing, then they're going to be really, really quiet and really sad on their way home. If it's focus on the rebuild,
Right.
they're already ahead of schedule one
Oh,
game.
100%. 100%.
That ain't bad.
No. They had a heck of a game here tonight, and just think a 1-10 team last season who did not play well at all last season, coming into Jackson, Ohio, and doing this incredible.
Little Miami will go home next weekend. They will host an 0-1 Turpin Spartans team that just got done by losing to McNicholas by 6. Another one of those. Playing a Division III opponent that's really, really good that you lose just by one possession.
Right.
Both of those teams, I have no idea how they'll match up.
No, I don't
but
either.
It should be really entertaining, and there's a
Oh,
lot
heck
on the
it will.
line.
Hell yes, sir.
Both of them got to feel like they're going to be able to win that game next week. Jackson next week, they will be playing against Gallia Academy. It is a second straight home game. Jackson actually opens up the season with three straight home games. Gallia Academy, the Blue Devils coming in here next week, and then the dreaded rival Wheelersburg Pirates coming in here week 3 to fill up the entire visiting section here at Alumni Stadium.
3 straight home games and then 3 straight road games. So
that's your Jackson Ironman schedule.
Yes, sir.
Chris, what are your thoughts, man?
I tell you what, this is a wonderful Saturday night extravaganza for us to
Oh,
travel over here
100%.
for 2 hours and watch the Nate Mahan train get back on track. And I think Little Miami is going to be looking something. I think they're going to look like a special program this year.
Oh,
I think they're
yes.
really sound
Right.
just from looking at them play in week 1 against a powerhouse like Jackson.
This is a team that potentially maybe could steal a playoff spot in Division I Region 4. It is shrinking down to 12 teams.
Mm-hmm.
You could potentially, if you play well enough against your conference, you could steal a playoff spot.
Absolutely. And the other thing, too, you're looking at the overall program as well. It goes farther than one game tonight. It's a loss. Yeah, okay. It goes longer even than, do you go 2-8 this season? Do you go 5-5 this season? Do you go 8-2 this season?
Right.
They're on the right track. When I walk out of this stadium watching them play, that's all I can say is they're on the right track. It might take a year, it might take 2, but Coach Mahan is going to get these guys rolling again.
Yeah, and
it's got to be happy for the people tomorrow.
It sucks. You kind of wish Mahan had an opportunity to have an extra 2 years with these seniors.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think these seniors have a lot of grit. They have a lot of tenacity, and it showed tonight.
100%.
Absolutely. So, Little Miami, go back home tomorrow, but do it tonight. Enjoy yourselves on your drive home. And know that you have made progress.
Yes,
and know
sir.
that you guys are set up and ready to rock and roll for long days in the future. Good luck to you guys against Turpin next week. And to Jackson, we thank you all for the hospitality. This is a great venue to come out 2.5 hours. I've made this drive twice now, and come out here and see middle of coal country and iron country in southeastern Ohio. These wonderful, big, huge bands, these great fan sections.
Right.
And, hey, Jackson, maybe we'll see you in the playoffs at some point in time.
Yes.
With Baden, with Ross, with Talawanda in your region. It is certainly not out of the
You
question.
could potentially travel out to Cincinnati or Dayton, or a Cincinnati or Dayton team could travel out here the 2.5-hour drive to Southeast Ohio for some a good brand of football.
That's it. It's not a bad drive at all.
No, it is not.
For Chris Vogt, for Vince Keep.
Yes, sir.
We're glad you all tuned in. This is Joel Sackenheim saying good night from Jackson, Ohio, where the Ironmen over the Panthers, 21-14.